People wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G. Yeah, top G. People wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G. Yeah, top G's only. Too many phony, masculine homies. Females acting like they are holy. Ends up being lonely. No time for games, weightlifting games, betting some flames. Too many names, breaking their chains. Me busy switching lanes. Top G, people wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G. Yeah, top G, people wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G.
I'm coming for you, Matt. Get your guns out. Saggy Titch Matt Bar. Me and the Comics Gate Commanders are coming for you. That's all I got.
That's good, dude. That was great.
Here we go, guys. I guess I am more important than I thought. Isn't that weird? I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah. So that I just, so you guys know what's going on. I'm not a criminal.
Legend, absolute legend. Don't you think?
You know.
And I want to say to Johnny Scab, this is for you. I didn't do a whole shot, just put a little bit in there. Johnny, thank you for all the work you do in CG. I saw too, yeah. Thank you guys. I want to thank Johnny Scab for all the work he does in CG, standing up to the bullies, being the bully's bully, let's just say, and scaring the shit out of Matt Barr. And I hope you succeed in your mission, Johnny Scab, and hail to you.
Yeah, like Johnny Scab is so cool.
He might have assaulted Dan Frega over a taco. But I understand.
A taco?
But I understand. I understand Rob's point. I don't know if Rob knew that he was making a point, but I see his point. Okay, here's the story. And look, I might exaggerate something. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I've been told and what I've heard, and it's probably been recycled. I don't fucking know. But Rob, Dan, and several other people made a trip to like El Taco or something like that for a lunch break.
There you are.
And this is when Rob was more volatile and young, dumb, full of cum. Yeah. They go to and order all these different tacos. Like Rob gets this taco, Dan gets this taco, the other guys get their own tacos, right? So Rob, they got a big old bag of tacos, and Rob has to run in for something. So Rob runs out into I don't know, the taco place, I guess. During that time, Dan Pansy Frega decides to reach randomly into a bag that has been filled with everybody's own tacos. He grabs one out at random. Now, you would think that any logical wise man using their brain would look at it and say, let me make sure this is my taco. You say, that's not my, hey, who ordered this? Here's a taco.
Right.
No, Dan grabbed a random taco out of the bag and bit it. And as he bit it, without checking it or testing it or opening it up or inspecting anything, not having any consideration for anybody else in that vehicle, he realized when he bit into that taco was Rob Liefeld's. You don't eat Rob Liefeld's fucking taco. And look, he might have got assaulted from that. He might have got berated in front of his peers for that. And I say, look, man, Rob at that time was 20, maybe 23, 24, 25 years old, making a lot of money. And maybe even at the point, this might even been closer to 95, 96, where everything's starting to wind down. He's looking at this office space. He's looking at people that are fucking off while he's trying to keep the work going for all these guys. And then he finds out his buddy Dan is out here just grabbing a random fucking taco, not inspecting it, not caring about whose taco he's biting into first. And as someone, you know, like I was in the army, went into the army, and I understood that attention to detail matters. And why it matters? Why does it matter if you fuck up your bed? Because if you're fucking up your bed, or if you're fucking up any other of these minor things that mean absolutely nothing, if you're fucking those up, then you're probably fucking something else up that might be more important. So you're hitting it into their head. Attention to detail. And there was zero attention to detail when Dan Fraga just randomly bit into a taco, which could have been anybody in that vehicles. He didn't care. He didn't care because it's Dan Fraga's world and everybody else is just living in it.
I was sat outside on my doorstep in Brixton, and some people thought I was homeless.
Here's Johnny.
Hello, you beautiful lot. How you doing tonight?
Johnny Scab, he speaks the truth. Voice for the kids, no excuse. Scab leads and strong and loud. We're the misfits, we're the crowd. On the screen he shows the way. Screw the rules, we won't obey. World's gone mad, but we stand tall. Scab Cast fans will never fall. Rise up, Scab Nation. Johnny's voice of our frustration. Fuck wokeness, it's a fight. In the chaos, we're the light. We're the light. On the screen, he shows the way. Through the rules, we won't obey. World's gone mad, but we stand tall. Scab Cast fans will never fall. Rise up, Scab Nation. Johnny's voice of our frustration. Fuck wokeness, it's a fight. In the chaos, we're the light. Throw aside your fear and doubt. Let your inner fire shout. March together with belief. Johnny's words bring our relief. Rise up, Scab Nation. Johnny's voice of our frustration. Fuck wokeness, it's a fight. In the chaos, we're the light. We won't break. In Johnny's name we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. In this journey we ignite. We ignite. We're the light. We won't break. We won't break. We won't break. In Johnny's name we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. In this journey we ignite. Ignite. We're the light. 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 We won't bow. We won't break. In Johnny's name, we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. In this journey, we ignite. Won't bow. We won't bow. We won't bow. We won't break. We won't bow. We won't break. In Johnny's name, we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. And inside we ignite. And ignite.
Hello, you beautiful lot. Sorry about that. I didn't add myself to the stage. How you doing tonight? Thank you for tuning in. That was a bit sloppy of me, wasn't it? I was too busy just staring out. I was just spaced out at the screen then, just watching it. I don't normally watch the intro. I was just watching it and it just like hypnotised me. How you doing tonight, everyone? A Merrill Fat 4 ounce. Hansel Hauser. Ooh, we got some legends. We got Dennis Rodriguez. We got Jim Telja. How you doing, Jim? Abu Khan. Adam Webster. Bay Start Department. One of my special friends. Don't usually get to watch me. Yeah, I should hopefully have a mate coming on later. Hopefully. The Comics Gate, mate. Doing okay. There we are. Doing okay. Big colouring Frogman. Awesome. That's good work. Frog Tony. He donated to my channel once, Frog Tony. He's alright. I don't really know much about him, to be honest. I know he's a big fan of Ethan. And he pisses some people off. But then I find in life some of the best people are the people that piss other people off. Because they usually speak their mind. Or they got something to say. Like, look at me, for instance. Not that people hate me. Don't know why, mind you. I'm a blinding chap. Charming. True gentleman, I am. But I don't let it faze me. It's just how life is, isn't it? You win some, you lose some. Some people like you, some people don't. Phil Tony. Which is Phil Tony's a good dude. He enjoys pissing off reportage, yeah. I radiate charm. Thank you. Yeah, I think I do anyway. I'm one of the most charming people I know of. Or at least I try to be. I try to be anyway. Sometimes I can be a bit rude, obviously, because I'm a geezer, ain't I? I'll always be a little bit out there. But I try to tone it down a bit now and again. I've been watching more Diddy stuff. The Diddy case has been interesting me. I found a documentary, like a little mini one, 20-minute it is, and it is what's his name? You know, what's his name? The actor, the one who bitch slapped the comedian. Used to be Fresh Prince. Will Smith. Will Smith's son. Oh, what's this? What's this from Bay Stars? Head wounds. We got head wounds from Hansel Hauser and Fruits. We got. I feel like it's too much work to be anything other than just me. Yeah, exactly. Well done. Yeah. The Diddy stuff. Yeah, the Diddy stuff. Oh, we got Will Smith's son. His effeminate son, Jaden. He went to one of these Diddy parties apparently, and he's talking in this little documentary. He's talking about secret tunnels, levels in the mansions, and there was like parties within parties. Some creepy stuff going on, and some creepy stuff. So I'm gonna bring this up for you, because Uncle Johnny's good like that, and I'll turn it up a bit. If I want to talk, I'll pause it. All right. So just listen to this creepy shit for a minute or two. Imagine letting your kid, based out the point, imagine letting your kid go something like that. Yeah, Diddy party. Oh yeah. Ugh. I bet there's some like really super degenerate LGBT wokesters that would probably be disgusted at what they saw at a Diddy party. And you know what I mean? They see a lot. Diddy's a creature. He's a force of sexual nature.
Jaden Smith took to Instagram to share a series of images of him inside of Diddy's tunnels. Underneath Diddy's mansion in Los Angeles and Miami, there are secret tunnels. Originally, it was built as sort of like an underground swimming pool, but
I will just say I'm going to be watching this with you, so don't be upset if I don't bring your chat up straight away, because I'm not watching the chat, all right? I'm watching this with you. It's quite interesting.
Diddy drained it and began to create a network of pathways that connected nearby points of interest. This is just one of the videos that the feds have in their possession. The others are of Diddy and Will Smith, Jaden Smith. Yeah, and they can't share that one for obvious reasons.
In a shocking and unexpected revelation, Jaden Smith has come forward to expose the secrets he claims to have uncovered during his visits to Diddy's house. The actor and musician, known for his outspoken nature and will...
Right, so basically Jaden Smith, they're just hyping it up. Jaden Smith starts talking about all this stuff. I'll skip forward a little bit.
According to Jaden, these tunnels connect various parts of the estate and are designed for discreet movement and private encounters. He described the tunnels as labyrinthine and unnervingly secretive, suggesting that they are used to conduct activities away from prying eyes. These allegations have led to rampant speculation about what might be happening behind closed doors and whether these hidden pathways serve a more sinister purpose.
For example, one of the tunnels connects to Hugh Hefner's mansion nearby. But what's crazier is that he is literally using them to track kids for his FO parties. People say he would grab young girls and boys from the street using his sons as bait. Then these people would use the network of tunnels to transport these children unnoticed away from the prying eyes of paparazzi and the public. Jaden also leaked an image of the plans to build more.
Jaden has also recounted witnessing a number of strange gatherings at Diddy's house. He described these events as exclusive parties with a carefully selected guest list, often including high-profile celebrities and influential figures from various industries. According to Jaden, these gatherings had an eerie, almost cult-like atmosphere, with guests engaging in unusual and secretive behaviors. He hinted at the possibility of these events being more than just social gatherings, raising questions about the true nature of the relationships and activities taking place. During his visits to Diddy's house, Jaden claims to have had several unsettling encounters that left him feeling deeply uncomfortable. He described instances where he felt watched and monitored, even when he believed he was alone. These experiences have contributed to his growing sense of unease and suspicion about what might be happening behind the scenes. Jaden's accounts of these encounters suggest a pervasive sense of paranoia and control within the mansion's walls, adding another layer of intrigue to his allegation.
Like, he's speaking fast, but what he's basically saying so far is that P. Diddy, he had secret tunnels built under his house, right? So when he was having the houses designed, he said that they were indoor underground swimming pools, and basically when it was all built, he had the swimming pools drained and turned them into like secret rooms, like a big long room. And there's evidence that the police raided his house and found all of it. And at the minute, he's in prison, and it looks pretty serious, doesn't it? Because usually when celebrities like him get caught for shit like this, they're just out on bail or they're awaiting trial. He's like in prison proper. He's probably got a harem of little young lads in there. But notice how none of these people said something before no one said about. Yeah, it's true. The Karate Kid. Good evening, Dr. Ben, my fellow king. How are you doing? The tunnels to Hugh Hefner's mansion was supposed. Yeah. Although I don't know what Diddy would want with Playboy bunnies. They're sort of not his type, are they? They're not young enough or male enough, really. Maybe they're for his guests. He used to sneak them in. Anyway, I digress. Let us continue.
He described controlled environment with surveillance cameras, guards, and strict protocols for guests. This level of security, while not uncommon for high-profile individuals, seemed excessive to Jaden and further fueled his suspicions about what was being protected. He speculated that the security measures were not just for protecting the property and its inhabitants, but also for ensuring that certain activities remained hidden from the outside world. Jaden Smith's revelations have had a significant impact on public perception of Diddy. Moreover, Jaden's allegations...
There's also some stuff like it as well related to this. You got that Ellen DeGenerate, ain't ya? Ellen DeGeneres, the talk show host that looks like a little young lad, but she's a woman. She's got like boy hair. Don't know how you'd explain it in America. What you'd call her. Over here, it'd be like a bow or a dyke or something like that. I don't know, or maybe an extreme tomboy. Butch maybe, but she's a bit whatever. But yeah, she was good friends with Diddy. There's footage of her on her show, rubbing his finger and like stroking his thigh and stuff like that. She's a bit weird because I thought she was gay, but maybe she's bi because Diddy's blatantly bi, isn't he? Blatantly. He'd take whatever he can get.
Have cast a shadow over this image, prompting fans and observers to question what might be lurking beneath the surface. The idea of hidden tunnels and secretive gatherings has captured the public's imagination, leading to a wave of speculation and conspiracy theories. On the other hand, Jaguar Wright has just publicly accused Will and Jada Smith of allegedly sending their son Jaden to Diddy in a recent explosive interview. It's becoming increasingly apparent that Jaguar might have a personal vendetta against the Smiths. However, one thing is clear. Jaguar is always unafraid to speak her truth, no matter how controversial. In a recent interview, Jaguar made a alleging that Will and Jada have been circulating their son within the industry. She further shocked listeners.
She was an all-right actress.
Right, hang on, let me get this straight. That guy Jaguar said that Will Smith and Jada Smith sent their son to Diddy. Was that what they said? Accused him of sending their son to Diddy. I gotta watch that again. I'm sorry.
Leading to a wave of speculation and conspiracy theories. On the other hand, Jaguar Wright has just publicly accused Will and Jada Smith of allegedly sending their son Jaden to Diddy in a recent explosive...
Yeah. Sending their son Jaden to Diddy. What, as a sacrifice?
Interview. It's becoming increasingly apparent that Jaguar might have a personal vendetta against the Smiths. However, one thing is clear. Jaguar is always unafraid to speak her truth, no matter how controversial. In a recent interview, Jaguar made a startling...
Surely no one deserves that fate, do they? Imagine that. Imagine being judged in a court of law. We sentence you to be sent to P. Diddy. Good God. I'd rather just have the electric chair, mate.
Claim alleging that Will and Jada have been circulating their son within the industry. She further shocked listeners with another explosive accusation hinting that Will had engaged in inappropriate behavior with his own son.
Jada Pinkett has written a book where she reveals that multiple times she tried to commit suicide.
I don't know why she keeps trying. She just get it done. Don't be bad at everything.
Yeah.
She was an all-right actress. She was a terrible wife. She was a bad mother.
These allegations didn't come as a surprise, given the persistent rumors about Will and Jada's questionable parenting. Allegedly, they've exposed their children to various controversial influences from a very young age, ranging from Issa to Dr.
They've got, like, no offense, they've got a very strange parenting style, haven't they? They're one of them, they're blatantly one of them couples that purposely wants their kids to be famous, like they groom them, don't they? Oh, wow, strange signal, my old mate. How you doing? The link's in the chat if you want to come in. He give Scab Cast a $2 super chat. My truth, my blood truth sausages and safety pins. Thank you, Strange Signal. Strange Signal is a good man. He is what he says on the tin. He's like a strange signal. He comes in now and again, fucks with people's minds, then disappears. He's brilliant. I love him. Yeah, they are very strange. They're like, you get them a lot in America, don't you? You don't get them so much over here. like show parents, the ones that like groom their children into in celebrity stardom and stuff like that.
W.
It's
This
more
environment
common
supposedly
over
drove
there.
Jaden towards Diddy and even led him to seek emancipation from his parents. It's not entirely unexpected considering the rumors about Will and Jada's swinger lifestyle and Jada's affair with her son's best friend. It feels like we're trapped in a bizarre reality. At this juncture, we truly need to question where Jaguar sources her information because she consistently has the scoop on everyone. Not that I'm complaining. How else would we...
That's another thing as well, isn't it? Will Smith's a proper cuck, isn't he? Properly. Like, his missus, the skinhead one, she had an affair with her son's mate, and Will Smith knew about it apparently, and that wasn't enough for him to end it or nothing. What a cuck! What a cuckold! Disgusting! What a weakling!
Cover all the scandalous details about Will and Jada Smith and their tumultuous dealings with Diddy. It's well known that Will, Jada, and Diddy are activities that A-list celebrities often find themselves involved in. A few years ago, Jaguar gave a revealing interview in which she accused Will and Jada of exploiting young men in the industry under the guise of mentorship. During the interview, she specifically mentioned names such as Meek Mill, Brycer Gray, and August Alsina.
Will Smith and Diddy destroyed this young singer's career, and some are saying they R-worded him like they allegedly did to Justin Bieber.
Right, yeah. There's a lot of rappers involved in this. Diddy might be the ringleader, but it gets deeper. It gets a lot deeper. There's a lot of musicians and rappers that have probably sucked Diddy's sausage, played with the mamba.
Jaden's other public antics, it raises questions.
Jaden, I was like, when I wrote the hook, I was like, oh my God, Jaden's voice would be perfect for the tone of this instrument. And I just
It's like Christmas or something. General Quinlan just sent a super chat as well. 199. Have a good show, Johnny. Gonna listen later. Thank you, Pat. Oh, thank you. That's amazing. That'll help my channel a lot. I've got to try and make like a monthly amount to even get any money out of it. You get like a limit. Some of you that do YouTube, you probably know you've got to have like a minimum, haven't you, for it to count. Thank you. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, that was weird. The whole affair thing. That's just.
When he did it, and he was so hyped, and he knocked it out so quick. And I love Jaden. That's my boy.
Take, for instance, a recent viral video showing Jaden and Justin Bieber sharing a public kiss. Justin and Jaden's friendship dates back to their 2010 collaboration on Never Say Never, the theme song for Jaden's breakout film, The Karate Kid. While they've remained close over the years, it appears their relationship may have evolved beyond mere friendship at some point. At this year's Coachella, a fan managed to capture a surprising moment. Jaden sneaking up on Justin and playfully grinding against him from behind, unaware they were being filmed. When Justin realized it was Jaden, his excitement was palpable. He practically burst with joy, promptly planting a wet kiss.
It's not uncommon, is it? Amongst the last two generations, what are they? Millennials and Gen Z, isn't it? Gen Z? It's right, yeah. Because millennials is basically Generation Y, isn't they? Yeah. Especially in Z, you'll find the young men are growing up to be a lot more feminine and a lot more like subdued, submissive, a lot weaker and sort of feeble. It's just more, it's what they're evolving into. There are less masculine men around now. It's faded out over time.
To a frenzy over the video, with one expressing their excitement, saying "Nah," the shoulder-to-shoulder back rub after the fat ear kiss, after the hug and pump from behind is absolutely breathtakingly insane. I had to watch it again because at first I was zoned out and thought, am I tweaking? And then, upon realizing, I was like, hell no. Fans began to notice that the mannerisms of Justin and Jaden in the video suggested they had shared such interactions many times before. This led to speculation about what might occur behind closed doors. Considering their long-standing friendship, some speculated that this behavior could simply be a part of their dynamic. However, given recent trends and controversies, it's hard for people not to connect the dots and wonder about the boundaries between public and private behavior. Justin recently trended when fans uncovered some troubling videos of him in compromising situations. For example, there's one video circulating again where Justin is with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham, and it seems like he's offering Odell something. Some people speculated he was using substances, but Jaguar Wright had a different perspective on.
There's a few videos with Justin Bieber, isn't there? There's one of him at a party on his knees.
New boy toys, which Diddy is only too happy to supply. There's a rumor circulating Bieber to his home unsupervised activities while offering him a house and a car after all. Allegedly, Diddy pulled a similar move with Usher a few years prior to Justin's involvement. Usher has publicly discussed how Diddy exposed him to the adult lifestyle during his time living with him at what was dubbed Flavor Camp. What's the deal with parents letting their boys hang around Diddy? Usher's time living with Diddy when he was just 13 raises serious concerns. He was exposed to things that even most adults steer clear of for their own well-being. That's why Usher has vowed to keep his own children far away from Diddy and his circle. Oh, but the situation worsens. Gene Deal recently made shocking revelations, suggesting that
I think that everyone should keep their children away from Diddy. And anyone that's like Diddy. I don't get the fascination with people idolizing these swag, shitty rappers that are just like, I mean, let's take a moment to break P. Diddy down to the basics, right? Take away his money, and he's got no talent, really, has he? I mean, he used to go on songs and just go like, oh, and we don't stop, because we can't stop. We won't stop. Bad boy. Yeah. Things like that. Right? Anyone can do that. Fucking a blind, disabled alien could do that. Right? And take away all that. What is he? He's just an American Somali, isn't he? He's just a scrawny looking pea-headed American Somalian bloke. I mean, in another walk of life, he'd be a taxi driver or something like that, wouldn't he? I don't get what the fascination is. Why people idolise these swag rappers. They're useless, aren't they? They should be bolt gunned.
that he allegedly subjected Usher to some actions that led to him being hospitalized. While Gene didn't delve into specifics, his demeanor implied it was deeply troubling. Rumors suggest that Jaden also experienced a similar trajectory as Usher and Justin Bieber, being guided through the entertainment industry's challenges by Diddy. What's more, it's rumored that Jaden's parents, Will and Jada, introduced him to this lifestyle. Interestingly, Will and Jada have been open about their personal lives, and it's been implied they enjoy adventurous activities. Jada shared in an interview with The Sun magazine that she and Will enjoy activities like roleplay and swinging. In her book, she further revealed their creation of a special love nest, ensuring privacy away from their children. Jada even described a separate, beautifully adorned love nest in their bedroom, with a domed ceiling adorned with twinkling stars. While charming, it raises questions about the extent to which they safeguarded their children from accessing such spaces. It prompts speculation, especially considering how the Smiths express their feelings for each other. If you remember, back in 2014, Willow and actor Moises Arias stirred controversy.
You're taking it off of the Diddy stuff now. I want to know about the Diddler, right? Is it too much about Will Smith? I thought Will Smith's daughter's son was going to tell us about the Diddler. There's a bit more at the end.
From both fans and the media now refuse to echo the hurtful criticisms directed at Jaden, who had diligently followed Now's guidance only to face harsh public backlash. However, some speculated that Jaden's wish to break free stemmed from deeper issues, suggesting that he may have been affected by the pressures of trying to please his father and the challenges of their shared living situation. According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Diddy has a history of putting people half his age in awkward or dangerous situations. He also enjoys bringing young girls to his house, where he allegedly spikes their drinks to make them feel uncomfortable and exploits them. Lil Rod further stated that Diddy attempted to get him to partake in specific behaviors and that Diddy repeatedly touched and prodded him without permission. Whenever he brought up Diddy's unwelcome advances to his chief of staff, Christina Cora, she dismissed his concerns, saying, "You know how Sean is." Gene had an intriguing theory about this. According to him, Diddy often engaged in what seemed like harmless, playful interactions with his...
Oh, you know how Sean is. You know how Puff Daddy is. He's just a bit gropey. He likes to get a bit freaky, that's all. You can excuse him.
Targets or romantic partners.
Bruh, I wouldn't have never allowed him to do no like that around me. That's why he probably never did nothing like that. You understand? When I got the aftermath, when they told me to go over to St. Luke's Hospital, because Puff was over there in the hospital, that was the aftermath. You understand? When Kim cut his wrist up with that corkscrew, his right wrist, they got pictures on the internet with his wrist banded up. Kim did that.
When these individuals voiced discomfort, they were brushed off with comments like, "Diddy's just joking around." Gene believed that underneath this facade of playfulness, Diddy was actually using these passive-aggressive interactions to assert dominance over his victims. This tactic left the victims feeling powerless, as they feared Diddy's ability to harm them and believed that nobody would take their complaints seriously. It's hard to fathom the depths of this marriage situation, especially if what Gene is alleging about Diddy is true. If that's the case, it's likely incredibly challenging for someone like Jaden to break free from that cycle. Fans are weighing in, noting that Jaden's desire for emancipation at 15 wasn't just teenage rebellion. It likely stemmed from witnessing troubling things in their household. People are pointing fingers at the Smith family, suggesting they're complicit for allowing their kids to be exploited. They argue that any parent who permits their child to be exploited should face severe consequences. Overall, the revelations made by Jaden Smith have undoubtedly...
Yeah, the fall of Diddy, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in between. I remember being, I guess P. Diddy was like just getting famous when I was like in my late teens, early 20s. This when I first heard about, when the world first heard about P. Diddy. I sort of grew up before the rap era, but everyone knew who P. Diddy was. He was in the papers and the magazines, wasn't he, everywhere. Yeah, like everyone knew Tupac and Biggie, and then you automatically knew Puff Daddy because he was all up in the music videos, wasn't he? He was like everywhere. You know, I'll sign you. I'll be all up in the music videos, dancing with my little gay suits on and puffer jackets. That was his style, wasn't it? That was his style. Exploit people. Exploitation of a different level. Now, I don't understand. The music industry's never really changed, has it? It's got worse, if anything. It's like it's always been manipulative, but nowadays it's got a little bit more like cutthroat in it. It's slightly worsened over time, I guess. I've been involved with, on a minor scale with the music industry, and I've seen that it's not a very good industry to be in. It is very cutthroat, very untrusting. You got to really read your contracts and know your law as well. A lot of people will try and fuck you. A lot of people will, especially if it looks like you're going to make a bit of money. You got to watch out for people trying to take advantage of that. It's the same in all walks of life, isn't it? Like, if you're in a position where you're going to be making a lot of money, or you make a lot of money and the world knows about it, you got to be very careful who you have in your personal circle, in your friend group, your real life friend group, obviously, because you'll notice, obviously, it's human nature. When someone starts becoming more well off, you'll attract the wrong sort of people. People will notice that, and it'll be people that don't really care about you, ain't really got an interest in you. And that's the ones you got to watch out for. Now, I've got another little bit on P. Diddy. I'm just going to try and load up for you. This one's not got Will Smith's son daughter in it. It's if it'll come up. It's taking a while. My internet's playing up a little bit. It's probably alright for you not watching me. I always get it. I always get like little jumps and stuff. I lag a lot. Alright, here we go. Off we go. No, not that. I don't want to watch that. Fuck off. Right, I'm trying to find it a minute. Hang on. Things are going AWOL. Here we are. Here's someone who said did he hit on him at one of his parties. Now it makes me wonder if Notorious B.I.G. knew about it, or Tupac. Because there's that thing in there, they're always saying how Puffy was involved in the murder of Tupac, allegedly. It makes me wonder, was he? Did he know something? Sorry about the delay. Right, so there's some geezer. Oh, come on. There's some geezer talking about the music industry. I'm trying to get him up big. For fuck's sake. Yeah, there's a lot of people coming out of the woodwork about Diddy, especially in the music industry. There's people accusing him of all sorts. And it makes you think that it could be like a cult, can it? As in a cult, like a sex cult. Fuck's sake, is he taking a piss? Every time I go to play it, well, I might have to leave it as doing my head in. Every time I go to play it, it gets small. And I can't get it big again. Hello, Felix. I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to that. I can't fucking work out what to do sometimes. Expand. Oh, it's the wrong one. Hey, go away. Leave me alone. My, oh, for fuck's sake. I hate the internet, gee. I wish we could just shout at each other. Hold on. My internet. Right, hang on. It seems to be working. Touch wood. No, for fuck's sake. Thank you for tuning in tonight, folks. I'm very sorry about the disgustingly slow, lagging internet. I am trying to save up to get a better computer. It's my computer, really. It's just so slow. The internet's normally alright until it comes to streaming. Right, I'm going to get out of that page and we'll reload that and see if I can get in again. So, tell me about your week, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anyone in the chat that's done anything interesting? Anything fun? I had a good one. Me and Bjorn, well, Bjorn's moved in to Scab Towers. He's actually got a room here now. And he's not in, so I could tell you this. When he was like moving his stuff in, I noticed he got this little table, like in his cupboard, in his wardrobe, I don't know what you call it, closet. He's got like a little table, like a bed, like a little tea table. And he's got pictures of Macy Gray and him. Like, well, he's a picture of Macy Gray, like cuddling a bloke in a suit. And he's got Bjorn's head cut out from another picture and stuck over the top. He's got like a little shrine to Macy. The obsession's getting really strong now. I don't know. He's lucky he don't live near Macy Gray, or he'd be watching her. He'd be looking through her kitchen window. He loves her. Can't get enough of her. Abu Khan says he's been learning chemistry. Evening, gents. What are we watching tonight? I was watching P. Diddy stuff about the P. Diddler. And then my internet got a little bit slow. Mr. Smith. I am going to try and upload it again. I've got another little video I wanted to show you. It was quite interesting. The P. Diddler. I find it fascinating because he was a big character. He was a big face in the hip hop music world. Same with these people that like Dr. Ben mentioned R. Kelly earlier. R. Kelly. Oh, shut up until I tell you. Right. Yeah, R. Kelly, he was another one because I like some R. Kelly music. I've actually I listened to some in the past. He was alright at some point. But people say the same about Michael Jackson, don't they? He got brilliant. Some of his songs were brilliant. I guess with Michael Jackson, wasn't it? Right. He sort of oozed nonce, didn't he? A little bit. Don't you reckon? I mean, if you had to get a kid to draw a picture of a paedophile, they'd probably draw Michael Jackson, wouldn't they? Or someone like that. Or maybe like Lord Raptor. Just a stereotypical sort of like creepy sort of look. Sort of people who should keep away from kids.
I think so many bad boy artists went broke with Diddy or after.
Well, you got to remember, this is Diddy career really started like 91, 92. A lot of us wasn't even educated about the music business then. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think, even the Locks, they was kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mace was a kid. If you look back at Biggie and Tupac right now, they died at 25.
Right.
They, to us now, they look like kids, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people got raw.
Mad to think that, like, as a kid, isn't it? 25. When you get old, you think, fucking hell. People like Tupac and stuff, they live lives so fast. Like, they experience things so fast compared to some of the youth of today. They have full-on adult lives.
Because they didn't know the history, right? The same stuff that Diddy's They're a legend now with the parties, the drugs, the sex.
Right.
A lot of people fell victim to that, right? Because that was their lifestyle. Now, when we was younger, we wasn't paying attention.
The guy from what was it? X-Files. Guy, what's his name? Mulder. He was a proper shagger, wasn't he? He shagged around a lot. Well, a proper shag addict.
But if you go and you look at the Big Papa video, the lead woman or the lead guy in that is the transgender, right?
I'm gonna look it up as you say that.
Yeah, you can.
So you more so, and we could be somewhat candid. You more so just alluding to like the accusations of Diddy being like into homosexual lifestyles.
Yeah.
That energy of hip hop that has always been seen as taboo, and we could never verify it because none of us were on the inside.
Right. Well, I was.
But I was gonna ask you. So you've seen this firsthand.
Yeah, I've never seen like orgy, but Diddy has hit on me. That's the
accusation here from the cool old black guy. Diddy tried hitting on him. So it shows that Diddy must not have a type. Diddy is just any hole's a goal kind of man.
house. And everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it until I really paid attention and looked around at my surroundings.
Rodriguez gifted 1 Johnny Scab membership. Thank you, Dennis. Salute my fellow general. Dennis Rodriguez is an honorary Comicsgate Commando. He used to come on Comicsgate Commandos. And he come on Scab Cast quite a lot. I want Dennis on more, but he's a very busy man, and I broadcast a bit late for Dennis. And he's usually got to go to sleep because he got work the next day. He's a busy man. He's a hard worker. I understand that. But yeah, I love talking to Dennis. Very intellectual. Oh, awesome. We got to thank you for the membership. There we go, look. You got to go now. Thank you. Have a good night, Dennis. Much love, brother. Mi hermano. Adios. And to Frederick, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, the newest member, Frederick. You're a very lucky man because you've come at a time where over the next few weeks, over the next month, especially the next 2 months, I've really got to get my ass in gear. I've got a lot of projects that I've been working on, and I haven't got around to finishing them. I started them. Who's this, Geronimo? Hello, Geronimo. Geronimo 3, 8, oh, fucking hell, above the Pacific. You're in a plane, are you? He's in an aeroplane or a helicopter, Geronimo. He's come at a time where, ladies and gentlemen, I've got someone in the chat. Not in the chat, in the green room. It's only a fucking Comicsgate Commando, isn't it? One of them. It's Carbonate. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yes. Hail, Johnny. Good
Hail,
to see
Carbon.
you, brother.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you saw, we've been watching Diddy videos about P. Diddy.
I just saw that now, yeah. There's a lot to talk about.
What's your opinion on the whole Diddy thing?
I think it's about time that they get revealed. The entire industry, they're all guilty.
Yeah, I'm glad you... Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
especially the whole, you know, thuggery, gangster rap portion of it. That was a psyop from the beginning. We can get into that later, but the whole gangster rap persona was a psyop created to damage society, and now it's being revealed that it was all fake. And it turns out they were all degenerates and doing filthy, dirty things.
I'm glad you came in as a guest tonight, Carbon. Did you watch the episode of Scab Cast where Patrick Quinlan played my game, 21 Questions with Johnny?
Yes, I caught a little bit of that. Yeah.
Would you like to play my game?
I'd be happy to.
Excellent.
So you're gonna put me to the test, Johnny? Johnny, are you there? I think we're having some freezing difficulties here. Oh, there you are. You're coming back. But you're muted, though. Almost. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. So Johnny pulled out. He's coming back in. And we're about to do the 21 questions to hold my feet to the fire, which I welcome at any time. You could put me to the test. Hail Frederick Goumond in the chat.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
My internet went really horrible. Yeah. Bearing in mind, these questions, Carbon, they're picked from a list of 100 questions from Dr. Goodnip. He's a psychotherapist, so he knows the human mind. All right? So they're totally random, and some of them are a bit weird and out there. All right? So just be prepared.
Okay.
Question number 1. If you had to fuck an animal, what animal would you choose?
Sheep.
All right.
Final answer.
Question number 2. If you had the choice to be a billionaire or have the power to turn invisible and fly, what would you choose?
Invisible and fly.
Or be a billionaire.
Invisible and fly because I could still become a billionaire after becoming invisible and flying and then stealing $1 billion.
Very wise, yeah. It's a clever question. All right. This is a question that Patrick Quinlan had no trouble with. He just had an instant reaction. So I'm going to try it on you. You see a little old blind man and Morgan Freeman about to get mowed down by a bus at the same time. You can only save one of them. Who do you choose?
Little old blind man.
Yeah, you pick the same as Patrick. See, I would have picked Morgan Freeman because I'm a fan. But yeah, a lot of people pick the little old blind man. Right. This one's a little bit odd, but you got to answer it honestly. If you had to eat your own microwave vomit or your own oven baked turd, which would you choose?
Oven baked turd.
Yeah, I think that's what Pat chose as well. That's weird.
That's the more palatable of the two.
It's interesting. It's an interesting to see the human reactions. Right. You're allowed to get one free hit put out on any celebrity, so you can get them taken out, killed. What celebrity do you choose? And you don't get any repercussions.
Currently living celebrity.
Yeah, they got to be alive. It's no good trying to put a hit out on a dead person.
You know, this one's interesting because back in the day, like maybe 5 years ago, I would have had an answer prepared right away because I had more hate in my heart back then. But now I no longer feel that much anger. I've learned to let go and just enjoy life. So I can't really think of someone that quickly that I'd like to eliminate. Well, I guess a quick. I'll give you a politician answer, like based that art department is asking. But I won't say the name. Basically, the politician that could potentially win.
All right. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Don't say too much because in your country you could get like swatted, couldn't you?
Yeah, I'll just say that.
All right. Question number 6. If you could create a cure for an uncurable disease or have a lifetime supply of your favorite food for free, what would you choose?
The cure for the uncurable disease, for sure.
All right. Question number 7. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, easily.
What do you think would win out of a shark high on cocaine or an anaconda on crack? And what are your reasons?
Thinking about this, I'm picturing it. I think the shark maneuvers more quickly.
Obviously, it's in water.
Yeah,
Because anacondas
underwater.
can swim.
Yeah, I'm thinking the shark can maneuver more quickly and get the bite in faster. It has a bigger mouth. I think the shark would win.
All right. That's interesting. Black or white?
White.
China or Japan?
Japan.
If you had to be king of an African country, which country would you rule?
South Africa.
Good choice. Good choice.
Thank you.
If you could swap lives, right? If you could swap lives with any human alive, who would you choose?
That's a good one. Probably Elon Musk.
All right.
For obvious reasons. Right now, he's in a very good position. You know, being the wealthiest, he rules over some companies that are basically going to be the future, and you can get prime pussy. So I think it's a good deal.
All right, that's a good one. All right, what would be your dream 1 month vacation to anywhere in the world if money was no object?
There's an island off the coast of Italy called Sardinia. It's beautiful. It's basically all the
Yeah.
beauty of Italy, but in a small island. And it's like a little paradise. That's where I would go.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. In your personal opinion, which country in the world is the biggest shithole?
Haiti.
All right. If you had to be a drug if you had to be a drug kingpin, what kind of drug would you push?
Well, that's a little complicated because now you could push marijuana and be legitimate. So, but then I guess that doesn't count. I suppose cocaine, I'd like to provide a pure form of cocaine.
Carbon Escobar. Right. Who is your favorite fictional hero and your favorite fictional villain?
You already know the answer to this. Batman and the Joker. Yes, sir.
All right,
Not from the movies though. Not from those fucking movies.
All right. Question number 17. If you were forced to marry a celebrity, which celebrity would you marry?
Anna de Armas. She's an actress.
I've
She's
heard
been
of
in.
her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She was in one of the James Bond movies, and she's Spanish. She's from Spain. Absolutely beautiful.
All right. Russia or Ukraine?
Russia, sir.
What's your favorite childhood memory?
That's a bit tear jerky. But I suppose it's spending time with my siblings, my brother and sister playing outside.
That's a good memory to have. All right. If you had to choose between having having no arms or no legs, what would you choose and why?
No arms or no legs?
Yeah.
Well, it would have to be no legs. I want my arms.
Why is that?
Well, the hands are more valuable than most of the rest of the body, to be able to hold things, grab things. And I feel like that would be more torturous to not be able to hold something than to not be able to walk. Yeah, I think, easily.
And the last question, final question. What's your favorite type of Indian? The ones with the wigwams or the ones that eat curry?
In the past, I probably would have said the Native Americans, but upon further investigation, there's more that we've gotten from the Eastern variety. The food, the spices, You know, they're still alive for the most part. You know, there's not much we're getting from the Native Americans, so I guess I'll take the Eastern Indians.
Fair enough. If the native Indians become lazy, then and they're not putting their bit in for America.
They're almost non-existent here in America. They're secluded to a few villages. They don't really get involved with American society. They own some casinos, but nobody cares because there's plenty of other casinos that they don't own. Yeah, it's a shame, but for the most part
Right.
they're gone. Yeah.
It is a shame.
So what's the conclusion? You get
I suppose sorry, I was going to say in Britain, the closest thing we have to like Native Americans would be Celtic people, like the Celts, but there's none of them left now. Only the descendants of them.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it only matters if you could see their existence in current society, right? But anyway, I was going to ask you, a psychologist came up with these questions. What's the conclusion from the answers? What have you determined?
Well, the results for yours proves that you're a normal functioning human like Patrick. It's basically there's sort of like 3 results you can get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how accurate it is, but it's from someone who studies the human mind, so it's got to be, some of it's got to be relevant, I guess.
I would think so. Yeah, I guess the other options are psychopath or sociopath, something to that effect.
Maybe. If you were going to be a doctor, what sort of doctor would you be?
Surgeon. I'm not sure what kind of surgeon, but maybe neurosurgeon or spinal surgeon. Yeah, probably spinal surgeon.
I'd probably be like a dentist, because it's kind of like, it's fun, isn't it? Like everyone's scared of you.
Yeah, that's a good choice. You know, obviously you want to choose a doctor who's going to get paid well, because it turns out certain kinds of doctors don't do well because they actually don't get paid much, and that's a complete shit deal.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So you don't want to do that. But a surgeon gets paid probably the highest. That's why I chose it.
Yeah. You could be a doctor like Dr. Ben. He's a spiritual doctor.
Yeah, there's all kinds of doctors. Dr. Ben is in the chat. He's apparently he's streaming. He's
This is a mutiny. Is he streaming? Is
yeah. It's a mutiny. He's rebelling
Should we eat
against
that?
yeah, maybe we should. Stream snipe him.
Dr. Ben stream. Let me see if my. Yeah, just give me like a few minutes for my ancient computer to warm up its steam engine.
I hear you.
Dr. Ben's a bit of a rebel, isn't he? He goes and stirs up. He goes and stirs up.
He's been getting a little feisty lately. Dr. Ben's yeah, he's getting a little rebellious.
Yeah. Yes.
You're muted now, Johnny, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, you're still muted. There you go. You're
Hello.
back.
Yeah, we got Dark Gift. How you doing, Dark Gift?
What's up?
Wow, look who it
Been a
is.
long time, mate.
How you guys doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. We've been discussing P. Diddy earlier on.
Oh, the Epstein of Hollywood.
Yeah, basically.
Or of the music
I think
industry,
it's all linked,
specifically.
isn't
Yeah, specifically. Well, I mean, there's actors involved too, but yeah, I guess technically mostly music artists. Yeah. Or some people say the Black Epstein, but whatever. I try not to take it to the racial aspect.
You been up to anything lately, mate? Anything interesting?
Nothing like out of the ordinary. Fulfilling a damn dirty thing, inking Lightbringer 2, doing my show. You know, same old work. Went to a con, my first con. Got a table at my first con back in September. Yeah, local too. It was like 10 minutes from my house. That was cool.
Oh yeah, New Jersey?
Yeah. There's a small, it's like a husband and wife team. They do like a small circuit all over the state. They actually have one this coming Sunday. I just can't afford to take off of work. Elasmat's gonna go. The two of us, he was at the last one with me. I'm gonna try to go if I can get someone to switch days with me. But if I can't afford to take off. But then they have one in November, which we'll probably go to. Well, I'm definitely gonna go to the one in November. Then the one in January is all the way down in Wildwood. It's like a 2-hour drive. I don't think I'm going to go to that one. That's far.
And are you selling your the damn dirty thing? Is it in on like Indiegogo, or are you selling that on eBay or anything? Is there any? How can you get hold of a copy of that?
It's on Fund My Comic still. Yeah, it's over on Fund My Comic. Campaign's still open. So if you order it, I'll be shipping it. So yeah, that and sorry, I think that and my art book, Dark at Midnight. We just did the remastered version. That was the book that, well, we'll see if it actually helped or not, but at least almost helped with the trademark. So I did a double size, like it was a 24-page book, and now it's a 48-page hardcover remastered. That's on Fund My Comic also.
Have you had any like international deliveries, or do you just do it in America?
Oh, I do international. Yeah, we do digital, and I do international. Yeah. All physical copies come with the digital, but we do a digital for those who don't want to pay the international shipping, because that shit could be expensive. I get it. But if you do back in physical, whether it be domestic or international, you get a digital copy anyway. So
that's a good deal. That sounds good.
And Dark
Carbon.
Yes.
Sorry, Carb. I was going to say you mentioned the other day when we were talking to Bosch, you said that eventually you'd like to try and write a comic book. Have you got any sort of like ideas, like any sort of like things in mind of what you would write it about?
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I've been thinking about it for about almost a year now, and I've been, taking notes, building on the idea. So it's pretty much there in terms of concept and design, and even story. Because I've accumulated a lot of notes on what it's going to be and the title. Um, I've been a little bit hesitant because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I don't want to actually pull the trigger until I feel like it's gonna be it. You know what I mean?
You don't want to give too much away. Don't want to tell people too much about it in case you change your
Right.
mind.
But I could describe briefly. I mean, because I want to make a book that has superhuman elements. So superpowers are involved, superhuman abilities, even supernatural to a degree. The focus will be on a hero, a protagonist who's a hero slash anti-hero in an alternate kind of current day world, but with a little bit of a futuristic twist. Not too futuristic, but just like maybe a little bit of a jump, maybe 30 years into the future. And aside from that, just being a badass book where there's violence, there's sex, not explicit sex, but sexiness, women,
Right.
who are attractive in a group of heroes.
Sex appeal.
Yeah. I guess if we were to compare it to something, maybe something like Wildcats, that kind of vibe.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's funny because the Damn Dirty Thing is set, like you were saying, like you want to do some set modern but with a futuristic aesthetic. The Damn Dirty Thing is set in modern days but has a 40s aesthetic. Like the aesthetics of the 40s never went away. Like Doc's thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a noir, right? So the book itself is a noir, but it's a supernatural noir. But like they have everything we have: cell phones, computers, but they call them different things. Like computers
That's
are
cool.
called data types, because the verbiage never went away, the aesthetics never went away. Like the cars
I like
still look
that.
like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Doc really nailed it out of the park on it.
That reminds me, speaking of that art style, but like being now, is it like Art Deco, that whole dark deco style from Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a vibe like that. Yeah, it's a little grittier, but yeah, because it takes place in a section of a city called well, originally he was going to call it Iron Heights, but then DC has Iron Heights, so I was like, let's not get sued. So it's like, so we changed it to Iron Gate. So, but it's basically like a Hell's Kitchen type of section of town. But yeah, definitely has like the original Batman the Animated Series vibe. With like the cars, the buildings, everything kind of looks 40s.
Yeah, I love that.
Even the clothes,
Did you see that new cyber bus that Elon Musk made? It looks like a van out of Batman Animated Series. Have you seen that?
Yes, I just saw it the other day. What was it, yesterday, the day before? I finally saw it. I saw that, the robots, the inside of the bus looks like a party level.
Yeah, I was looking at the robot.
It's crazy.
The robots literally look like the robots from iRobot. I think he did that on purpose. You think he did that on purpose?
Well, he put up a meme.
I was gonna ask you about that, and Because you said that you do bartending work, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that. I was I
Those
was not happy
robots.
to see the robots bartending.
Yeah, that must be horrible. But when you think about it, they could technically be programmed to do like 90% of jobs, couldn't they? Really, it's like it
Yeah.
depends how you program.
Yeah, but there's something to be. I don't know, man. A bartender, I could see. Okay, like maybe for like rich people who are having like a house party event type of thing, right? You just have a robot there serving drinks. But at a restaurant or an actual venue, I think you need the human touch, you know?
Yeah, especially when it comes to
But you
when
got
it
to
comes
worry
to
about.
serving
You
you.
got to hope that other people.
Yeah, when it comes to food and even drinks, I feel like people want there to be a person on the other side of that.
Yeah. Like, you know, you go to a Broadway play, they have a little area where you can, on an intermission, go get cocktails or something, or like, you know, at a concert, at like a stadium, or like a sports arena. You're just in line, you're getting your beer, you're getting whatever. Yeah, maybe a robot, right? Like, I'm not saying take those jobs away from people either, but I said if you're gonna do it, maybe maybe that's the way to go. But yeah, like for doing like what I do, like if you're at a restaurant and you're hanging out for a couple of hours and you're just sitting at a bar or you're at a wedding, you want that human experience. You want to be able to have that like interaction, right? Like if you walk up to a robot and drop a 20 at a wedding and drop a 20 and go, remember me the rest of the night, you know what I mean? Like it's not the same thing, you know?
Exactly, and not to mention like there'd be no point in tipping a robot, right? Or even having a conversation. A lot of people go to the bars, they have conversations with the staff. They get to know the people.
Hey,
you know, so I feel like a
Oh,
lot of people.
these robots that Elon, the robots that Elon made, they can have real conversations with you in real human voices. They can answer anything.
There is I was watching though.
To AI.
There is a slight delay though, right? Like see how we just talked over each other when the person and the robot were talking over each other, the robot didn't respond right away. The guy had to ask the question again, you know. And then even when he did ask the question, there was like a split-second delay before the AI processed what he asked and then figured out how to not only what to answer but how to answer, you know, with the personality. So, but it was cool as shit. I mean, for the first time seeing something like that, it was cool as shit. I will say that. I'm not gonna deny that.
The Tesla.
20
But how?
grand.
Elon's mentioned.
Sorry, again, you were about to play the video.
It's not actually that expensive, really, when you think about it. Like,
No,
no,
it's not. It's cheaper than some cars. You know what I mean? Like
multiple times to test that Tesla's robot could perform, with the numbers surpassing 1,000 or 10,000 different tasks. The most important part about Optimus is the key technology to do these things. The best robot hand in the world, almost equal to the number of operations that a human hand can do. So if our hands get 100 tasks, it should be able to handle at least 60 of those. So what exactly can Optimus do in the real world, and how can it make us money? The answers are all here. Welcome to today's episode of Tesla Car World. Now, none of us come from work. Yeah, it's going to say you have an Optimus living at home with you. The reality is the idea of owning a robot at home and asking it to handle a bunch of tasks that you either can or don't feel like doing has never really caught our attention because no one.
I think a lot of people fear it as well, don't they? Like, there's going to be a point, like, even if they make robots and the robots are like well trained and they're taught to be good and look after humans, like, you're always going to get some horrible human that attacks the robot and wants to smash it up or something. And then the companies are going to say, oh, it needs to be able to defend itself. So they'll give it some sort of like self-defense mechanism. And then it's like a slippery slope, isn't it? once you start arming the robots and doing stuff like that, or making them capable of fighting humans.
Or how about the idea of just hacking them? I mean, let's be honest. A person who buys this
Well, yeah, but then
can hack it, and then
they
they
would
can
have
use
to be
it.
in this. They would. So they'd still have to be trained to fight. Though they'd have to download it through like a computer system or something. They'd have to like watch thousands of like martial arts movies and pick up all the moves.
But the fear is justified.
I know, Rocky McCall.
Because once this becomes available to people, to anybody, you know, Dr. Ben and I, we were talking about this the other day on his stream. Even if I were to buy this thing tomorrow, I would be tempted to hack it immediately and then use it for my, you know, evil purposes. To become a millionaire like instantly.
Well, not just that. Like, we're already worried about like having an Alexa or you know, Google Nest or something like that in the house, right? Because it's spying on you. This thing not only has ears, but it has eyes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And it can move.
right. You know, like what if I park into my living room and I'm coming in my office, I'm doing the podcast with you guys, we're hanging out, shooting the shit, and I step outside the office and boom, it's like right there outside the door.
Exactly.
Like that's creepy as fuck.
Not to mention, man, this thing, I mean, realistically speaking, it can kill anybody because it's a machine, dude. Like, it's made of, you know, metal and hard plastic. If this thing could fight, it would kill anybody.
Right. What's the pounds per pressure on its grip? You know what I mean? Like, can it crush
This
my
scenario
throat?
has only
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably could. It's probably got quite a strong grip being a machine.
existed in sci-fi movies. However, Optimus is that real-world robot stepping straight out of the movies you've watched, with the exception of T2. But seriously, it can fold clothes, water plants, handle slippery objects like eggs or battery cells, and even use a computer. It can also dance, it can squat, it can move around the office with an incredibly natural human.
You could say pick up a cup, pick up a shirt, fold the shirt. These things will generalize, I think, quite quickly.
But that's just the most basic glimpse we've seen of the Optimus. Imagine putting it in a clothing store where it can fold and pack thousands of shirts for customers every day. No more having to pay people to do all that. Farms wouldn't need complex irrigation systems if these robots were involved. Or even crazier, it could grab eggs and make breakfast for the kids every morning. So stepping out of the realm of movies, this is the real-world role of Optimus. It brings mind-blowing convenience, some of which can directly train this. Optimus's hands are considered its most critical feature, and it's where Tesla Bot team has focused most of their attention. Just like humans, we'd be almost incapable of doing any task without our hands. A pair of hands with 27 degrees of freedom combined with a brain are two things that make us humans the most intelligent beings on.
This is the height for like robot technology that the public's allowed to see. This is the height that we're at, isn't it? I should imagine the government have got even more advanced versions of things like this that are like armed up to the teeth.
Yeah, we're pretty much at Terminator levels now. Like, this thing can become the government probably has killing machines already.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
like within the next 5 years or so. Now that this is out, in the next 5 years, you're going to see like soldiers, like, you know what I mean, like robotic soldiers.
Yeah, well,
I guarantee it.
They just said how advanced their hands are. They were saying how good their hands are, then they're going to be able to fire a gun if they're taught how to do it, aren't they? It's going to be easy for them to pull a gut for a trigger thing there.
Well, I mean, think about it. A soldier robot really only needs one good working finger. You know what I mean? Like, the other four just need to be able to grip the stock, you know?
I guess it still needs to be able to change the ammo, doesn't it, at some point? It needs to know how to do that. But that seems like that would be easy for a robot like that.
Right.
Just to be able to grab a clip and stick it in a gun. It's probably not that hard.
Because you figure that's like 3 different types of movements the hand needs to do, and that's all it really needs to do.
Yeah.
Starscream and Megatron.
Or you could just make this thing a walking machine gun. You know, because you could give it a machine gun for an arm, and it doesn't even need to reload.
Well, there's
you know?
The Russians are already using the Russians have got robotic dogs, and you can look them up. They like run along and they can't be knocked over. They've got balance on them, and what they're doing is they're turning them into explosives. So they're putting bombs on them, and they got cameras on these little robot dogs, and they're just running them into the enemy lines and blowing them up like suicide dogs, but robots.
I've seen those
And
dogs.
they also
like,
use them.
You know what's a
They use them to
disturbing
carry-
thought? The fact
What?
that the technology already exists to have a robot army. So technically, you know, whoever owns a robot army could win a war, hands down, right? But I bet you the reason why it won't happen anytime soon is because the robot army is more expensive than a human army. It's cheaper to get a bunch of fucking young men and send them in with guns to get slaughtered.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like not, I mean, but look, that's why I say within the next 5 years, because look at, I mean, 20,000. You know what I mean, for the base model of this thing, up to 30,000 for the advanced model. If Elon, that's cheap, man. I mean, I don't know if Elon recognizes the ramifications of making something so affordable, because in 5 years, that means the base model probably dropped to 10 grand. The expensive model drops to 20. And you telling me that like at that price point, you can't replace human soldiers? It's got to cost you at least 10 grand per human soldier to outfit them, house them, feed them, and arm them. Right?
And their training as well. It costs people to train them, doesn't it? To start with.
Right. But I'm just saying for like the first year of employment, I mean, military employment, you got to figure it costs what, maybe 10, maybe more, but I'd say at least 10 grand per soldier. You're gonna tell me when these robots drop to 10 grand, and like you said, Carbon Heart, you don't even have to outfit them with the extra gun. Just build the gun into their arm, and the whole their whole like side chassis could be like the clip. Like they could have literally thousands of rounds going from like their armpit down to their ankle. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the first ramifications is going to be the workforce, because you can replace all manufacturing jobs tomorrow night with this shit. And you can replace drivers, you can replace service industry.
But he just said like you could literally have like a clothing manufacturer and hire like have like 2 or 3 of these, and you're already eliminating a few hundred employees that would be running the warehouse to like box
or
up
even store clerks, people who work in the shop. Every store clerk can lose their job to this thing. You know, so this whole universal basic income thing, Richard Gradwell mentioned it in the chat. That's like the new, hot topic, because we're not going to have a choice soon. Like, if everyone's out of work, everyone's going to need a welfare check with basic expenses covered,
Well, they want to put chips inside you, don't they? They want digital chips that'll have all your information and your money on it. That's what they want.
Well, Elon's chip goes right into your brain. That's scary. Like, I mean, I love Elon Musk, but some of the stuff that he's coming up with is scary. I get the medical aspect to it. Like, if you have Parkinson's or you have some kind of neurological thing, or maybe paralysis of the legs, you can like train, like you could use your, this chip to like cure those things. But what else can that chip do once it's in your head? You know what I mean? Like,
I've always been of this. I've been suspicious that Elon Musk is actually an alien, but he's a good alien. He's come to help the human race. I think he's in disguise.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but yeah, I mean, there's ramifications to this. Like,
It's a double-edged sword because, you know, in a sense, it's inevitable. Technology is going to progress no matter what you say or think, right? So in a way, Elon to me seems like a guy who's like, we're going to get there eventually. I might as well make it happen.
Right.
Like that's a sense I get from him. Like he's like, we're going to get to space. Let me just do it now, right? So what's the difference? So I guess technically it's a good thing because he's creating the progress, but it's all about the laws. At the end of the day, there needs to be laws around these things to protect humanity. That sounds
Well,
funny, but I think that's the case.
no, there's got to be some regulation, right? I mean, like, it's like the old moral saying, like scientists, are always asking, like, can we? But they never ask, should we? Right? Like,
Yeah.
can we do this? Yeah, we probably can. Should we? Probably not. Like just bring it back to like bio, bio like science, like what do they call that? Where like they gain a function, with like viruses and stuff. Let's see if we can make this even stronger and deadlier.
Yeah,
We
that's a good
probably
point.
can. Like, why are we doing it though? Like why? Like for a bioweapon? So if you release it on the Russians, it ain't gonna make its way back to the United States, or if they release it on us, or China releases it on Taiwan, like it's not gonna spread. Like, what is the point of doing it?
Well, it's the dichotomy of technology because that's a perfect example. It's like, oh, we should develop the best possible weapons just in case the enemy creates those weapons so that we can protect ourselves. But by making the most advanced weapons, you're now introducing something so deadly that you're putting people at risk. So it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like nuclear weapons. Oh, we need to build a bomb so that we could defend ourselves. But by making this bomb, now we've become the evil force.
Right. And they make a bigger one, so we make a bigger one. They make a bigger one, then we make a bigger. We're to the point where we can't make them any bigger. We just have to strap about 100 of them together to make a bigger bomb. You know what I mean? It's insane.
I guess it's just humanity at the end of the day.
At least make it T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's why you need a robotic T-Rex running around.
Now, when manufacturers create a humanoid robot, the brain and hands are the two areas on which they focus most. We expect Tesla to release multiple versions of the robot. The starting price for Optimus is 20 grand, as Elon mentioned. The hands alone are likely to be worth 6 to 7K. As we mentioned before, our hands have 27 degrees of freedom. However, some of you may not fully understand what degrees of freedom in the body actually means. So let's review real quick. Simply put, degrees of freedom describe the number of ways a mechanical system can move. In the context of a humanoid robot's hand, it refers to the independent movements each finger or part of the hand can make. As you can see with Tesla Bot's hand, it can continuously move its fingers like a normal human's, which is something Tesla's competitors have not quite figured out yet.
If you want to have a humanoid robot that can do things that a human can do, it's a very high bar. So our new arm has 22 degrees of freedom instead of 11.
This is what Elon shared about the latest hand design for Optimus. To develop the world's most advanced robotic hand, the key component that makes Optimus truly useful for humans, Tesla has had to overcome some major hurdles. In a conversation with Lex Friedman, Musk admitted that the hand for Optimus accounted for about half the engineering work during development. Because like humans, much of our intelligence is tied to what we can do with our hands. Tesla's upgraded from 11 to 22 degrees, a leap that doubles the previous version, bringing them just 5 degrees shy of a human hand. Imagine if in the future Optimus get 22 degrees of freedom. Now, that might not happen immediately, but if it does, its hands will reach an incredible level of complexity that Optimus do.
The Luke Skywalker hand, can he? If you lost your hand, he can make you a robotic hand. That'd be awesome.
Well, that would he's gonna tie exactly what he's gonna do. Right, he's gonna tie the Neuralink chip to robotic prosthetics. You won't need you'll be able to literally have a Luke Skywalker hand. Yeah, they could probably graft some kind of fake synthetic skin over it to make it look real, and you literally have yourself a new hand.
Well, the funny thing is, now that this machine is available, technically for about 20 grand. And like you said, in about 5 years, it'll be the depreciation will be like 10 grand. There should be no need anymore for people to get like every prosthetic should be this good moving forward. Like people should have amazing prosthetics now.
Right. Well, he just said like right now the 6K of this robot is the hand. Right. So
Yeah.
You figure if you cut that in half, what, in 5 years you can get a prosthetic hand for 3,000. What are the best prosthetics going for now? 1,500.
Yeah, and they look like trash too. They're
Right.
Like those legs, like they're just a fucking curved piece of metal for legs. Like everybody should become an android soon.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like they'll be like, okay, but for 10 grand, you'll get the Neuralink and the prosthetic arm and skin, and you'll have yourself a brand new hand. You won't even realize that you've lost your hand. Like that's gonna be crazy. That is where I'm like, this is cool, right?
Yeah,
but
that's a benefit.
But again, now you got this Neuralink chip in your head. What if somebody hacks Neuralink and next thing you know, you're like friggin' MK Ultra? You know what I mean? Like, oh man, it gets scary out there.
Well, I'm still not down with the Neuralink. Fuck that. Like, I don't want something connected to my brain.
Well,
Just
that
give
would be the only way to have like a true robotic hand, right? Like, how would you control the hand? Unless you had some crazy, like more intricate surgery where like every nerve ending has to be tied to a certain circuitry or wire. All they would really need to do is run Neuralink to the arm, and your Neuralink would control your arm.
No, but you're right. It needs to be neurologically connected for you to control it.
Yeah.
I guess that's the double-edged sword once again.
Your prosthetic legs cost you 15,000 each. Are those the ones that Carbon Hot were talking about? Because those are like the really advanced ones, right? Those are the ones that like the athletes use
Complex
to run and
tests,
shit.
of course.
Sorry.
It can handle intricate surgeries, perform delicate laboratory work, repair advanced machinery, or even create art. The possibility for hand precision tasks in fields like healthcare, engineering, and manufacturing would expand tremendously, potentially reshaping industries and everyday life.
Like in 2026, it's really the kind of thing where you could tell it to do kind of a wide range of tasks.
As mentioned, Elon has discussed a wide range of tasks that Tesla Optimus could take on. However, listing them all from base to complex would likely take up about 1,000 different episodes, with each episode showcasing a different job that Tesla's robot can perform, and that would clearly be impossible. Instead, it just makes more sense to focus on the areas that Optimus truly shines and give practical applications that enhance human life and improve work efficiency across different fields, whether it's a homemaker, factory worker, personal assistant, store clerk, security guard, chef, even a teacher. The list goes on. Clearly, Optimus is not inferior to a human, and sometimes we got to acknowledge that AI integrated tasks into its software might even be smarter than us in certain areas.
You need AI, you need to be the best in real world AI, and Tesla's the best in real world AI.
Optimus is equipped with Tesla's artificial neural network and advanced computer vision systems. Thanks to Tesla's neural network, Optimus can learn and handle complex tasks just by observing for the first time, and it can relearn really quickly, as Musk said.
It can watch a video of something like a person and then learn just by looking at that video and do that task.
We're sure a lot of people are wondering how these robots will learn new tasks and just how long it takes to train them before they can actually get the job done. Obviously, they just need to watch a video, and you don't have to do anything. Imagine if you had a robot like Optimus at home teaching you how to play the piano, something you feel like you can't teach yourself. Just showed a video of someone playing your favorite song, and then the robot analyzes the hand movements, the chords, even the rhythm. Then it would guide you, human teacher.
Our next generation has 22 degrees of freedom.
That would be pretty cool. To have robotic like music teachers.
Yeah, I can see it being able to at this point, at
Obviously,
this stage,
like,
teaching the
just
piano,
for the
but I can't see it teaching how to play guitar. It looks a little too. The motions don't seem as fluid as you would need to be able for it to be able to play the guitar. You know,
It's almost there, though, to be honest, man. Like,
it's almost there.
strumming chords, it could strum chords, right? It could probably play the drums. Like, and that's the thing. Like, what's the limit? Like, how many people do you want these fucking things to replace? Because if you keep going like, oh, it could replace this, it could replace that, then like at that point you might as well just kill all of humanity. So it could replace every fucking thing there is, except for like sex And then even there, that could be replaced too. So then it's like, what
Right,
are we
for-
talking about?
For 100K, you could literally like buy your backup band, right?
Yeah, but that's my point. Like, there has to be a limit to the roles that we're going to replace human beings with these things, you know? Because otherwise, we're going to be surrounded by fucking robots, and then the only thing that's left is going to be your wife. Like, you know, it's just going to be me, my wife, and kids, and then we're surrounded.
I could see it like okay, so say I'm in a band, right? And the drummer quits, but we have a tour lined up. Maybe you could have a service where you like rent a musician, right? Like you rent the robot, it listens to your music, right? And like, okay, I need you to learn how to play these drum parts, and it just listens to the song, and now all of a sudden you have a fill-in drummer to finish off the tour. You know, I could see something like that, like, but for an actual.
That's the slippery slope, because that's my whole point. Because then it starts with that, then it's like, well, you know, once they can play guitar, I might as well get a robot guitarist, and then I might as well get a robot stagehand, and then what's the limit? It's gonna keep on going until we're all replaced.
Yeah, but how big of a fan base do you think a robot band would actually have, right? Because like
more than you think, bro.
I'm sure enough, but like you think enough for like it to be like a world charting art, like music, you know, music. I mean, not that we have many world charting musical artists now.
Here's a funny anecdote. Here's a funny anecdote. About 10 years ago, Japan came up with the very first like fictional pop star. Do you remember this? They made a girl pop star that was made of AI, but it wasn't real AI, but they designed it. It was a computer program, and it was a pop star. And they sold it. They marketed it as, oh, here's a robotic pop star, and it became famous.
Right, but you want to be able to meet, like, you know, especially I'm talking like in like maybe in the pop field, like in the pop star world that might fly, but in like the rock and metal world that won't fly, because half the allure of like being a fan of a band is going like, I'm gonna get backstage passes, I'm gonna go meet them, I'm gonna go party with them. What are you gonna do? Go sit in the back while the robots are just standing there in the corner? You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna have that same appeal.
Well, for some people, yes. I mean, obviously for us, me and you, you know, we're talking about this, but you'd be surprised, man. Like, look at the DJ scene. Like, there's a whole DJ scene off of like the DJ not even really doing anything on stage.
Right.
And now they have,
like I said, like the pop scene, I can maybe see it, right? Because how often do you like do these fans actually get to meet their idol? Like far and few in between. You know what I mean? But bands, I mean, every band I've seen, at least if I've seen them more than once, I've met them. You know what I mean?
well, there's gonna be two sides to it. There's gonna be the humanists who still want their musicians to be people, and then there's gonna be people who don't give a shit and they're fans of robots. It's gonna happen.
Well, and you might be more right than me, because like I said, I was like, we really don't have those mega superstars in the music field anymore, right? Like, who do we have?
Yeah.
What's her face? The white chick. Taylor Swift. We got Taylor Swift. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, music is so the internet has diluted the music scene so much that we don't have those mega superstars that people are dying to idolize anymore.
Well, even the idea of celebrity has died within the last like 5 years. Like, soon nobody will give a shit about any celebrity because social media has deconstructed that, because it's equalized the playing field. You know, because you can't even name 5 megastars anymore who are like concurrent. It's over. Like, because nobody gives a shit. It's like
who have a career younger than 5 years, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift has been around since the early 2000s, since she was a teenager. Beyonce is pushing 40, right?
In a sense, yeah, they're old. They're old stars now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look at your like Hollywood blockbuster actors and actresses. I don't even think we have a blockbuster actress anymore.
No,
I think Sandra Bullock was probably the last. Her and Roberts.
No, there's been a few. Scarlett Johansson was a star. For sure.
You think she was as big of a star as Julia Roberts? And
well, close. Johansson was pretty big. She was pretty up there.
But look at the stars, like as far as male actors that we got, like our mega like blockbuster like draws right now are still like Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, guys who are in their 50s.
It's over. It's over. Yeah, no, you're right. There's no stars anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe Ryan Reynolds maybe could be close, but he'd be like the Scarlett Johansson level. Like he's not as big as them, but he's pretty big, right? So he's probably like one of the last. Hugh Jackman, but why? Because he played Wolverine for 20 years? Like, is that why he's a star? Or
well, all of the last ones are pretty much now on their last legs. Like like Ryan Reynolds is fading. He's done. You know, like that's the last generation of stars, pretty much.
Yeah,
I believe the internet and social media did it because in a sense, social media can make you yourself a star because you post your selfies, you get your own fan base, and it's like I don't need to follow anybody anymore.
Right.
I worship myself now. You know.
You're the influencer now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, you got you'll have people who will like make a little bit of a splash, like the Sydney Sweeney chick. She'll probably do pretty well for herself because she's pretty and has a nice rack. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist, but that's literally why she's popular. I don't think she's like the most phenomenal actress.
It's such a shame though because Sydney Sweeney, you know, I got nothing against her, but she's literally like just an image, like with tits.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's like softcore porn. Like there's nothing to her other than that, and that's gonna fade.
Grim Jim says Tom Holland, but is he really going to even amount to the same level that Ryan Reynolds? Is he going to have the same longevity of a career? Like, say what you want about Ryan Reynolds, dude's been around since the late '90s. Yeah, his big early on hit was Waiting, and that was what 2001, 2002.
Yeah, he's been around for like 20 years.
Yeah,
Tom Holland is already over. He's already done.
Yeah,
I'm telling. Yeah. There is no celebrity anymore. It's over. It's all influencers and YouTubers now.
Yeah, you'll have guys like Tom Holland or chicks like Sydney Sweeney who make a splash, make a name for themselves for like a year or two because they're young and good looking, and you could put them on a poster and they'll like, you know, but then the substance is not going to be there, and like it'll be the next person, like the idea of like being a Hollywood star for your life and have a career is over. You'll get 5, maybe 10 good years and then you're done and it'll be like the next up and comer. And a lot of times they're literally pulling like some of these social media stars into the movies and TV shows now, you know? So yeah, Jenna Ortega is another one. I guarantee you won't hear her name in a couple of years either. You will, but it won't be like to the same effect that it is now since she been doing the Scream movies and the Addams Family shit and stuff, you know.
Well, the biggest thing, in my opinion, and this might sound like a boomer take and like an old man take, but like the attention spans of people have diminished so bad that now nobody wants to watch a full movie anymore. Like the concept of being into something that's more than just like superficial is gone, you know, in terms of popular culture. Like being into like something that's like dramatic, something that's elevating, something that's telling you a story more than just your everyday mundane nonsense, that's gone. Nobody's interested anymore. They're just interested in scrolling a 30-second clip, right? Like
and nobody likes to. Everything is old. I remember it started with music back in like the late '90s, early 2000s, and especially in the rap scene. Be like, oh, that song is so old. Like it was like, oh, it's so old that it's not worth my time. You know what I mean? Like I'm listening to the new thing, and then that kind of spread across the music scene. And now it's even spread into movies and TV shows. Like you ask somebody under the age of 38, have you ever seen X-Files? And they're like, that's so old. I would, yeah. It's like, yeah, but it was a cultural phenomenon. The shit would, a TV show that goes 10 years plus. Like, you know what I mean? Like nobody even wants to, like, nobody even knows, like, you'll say, oh, what about the band? Shit, you can even say Nickelback and half the people don't even know what you're talking about. And the biggest meme joke was Nickelback is the shittiest band in the world. They killed rock and roll, right? You know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, like, nobody has that, like, attention, like, let alone attention span for the past. Like, you're naming names like Jen Ortega, Tom Holland, Sydney Sweeney. The attention span for the new. Oh, did you see that new actress? She's even hotter. Or this new actor, he's even cuter. Or whatever the case may be. Like, it's always going to be this new, this, and it's like you gotta have some appreciation for where things come from.
The internet made it so that it's a lot faster of a cycle. The cycle in before 2000, the cycle took a little bit longer. You know, once it got ingrained, like it becomes household. But now with the internet, it's fucking a week. Something is a household name for a week, and then it's gone. But that's what I mean.
I think what also helped give things longevity was the fact that people were interested in what came before. Like, if I listened to a new band, and then I got into that band, and that band said, "Oh, my influences were X, Y, and Z." I'm like, "Oh, what bands are those?" And you go and look up those, but you know what I mean? Like, because you just wanted to know where this came. And that's how, like, guys my age were listening to Beatles and Led Zeppelin in the '90s. You know what I mean? Because you listen to groups like, Metallica, Bon Jovi, whatever it was that you were listening to at the time. You listen, whatever their influences were, you went and listened to. Oh, I'm a Metallica fan. Metallica like Black Flag. Let me go listen to Black Flag. And so same thing with, like, movies and TV shows. People are like, "Oh, that movie is such a classic," and you go watch a movie and, like,
in a sense, the music is such a good example because we had radio. You and I and Johnny, we found out about things through radio mostly, and with the radio, you would hear new stuff, but then you'd get the classics too. Like all the best stuff from the past. And that's how we were able to, like, get a starting point. Now we have access, and everybody has access to everything. Because it's like, all right, everything that exists is now at my fingertips. And so therefore it's almost like it's too much. Right? Because if you think about it, it's like books. If you think about, like, the analogy of books, it's like, which books should I read? If I care, like, if I want to read the best 10 books to enrich my mind, but now I can get every single book that exists, it's like you're lost. It's like I don't know what to do, and it's a
and
problem.
half the fun was, like, hearing about a band from the past, right? Like I said, like, oh, this is so and so's influence, or like you said, you hear a song on the radio and you go, oh shit, that's a great song. Was going, like, and going to the record shops and trying to find, like, going on the hunt for it. You know what I mean? Like, now you just type the name in, right? You just type in, like, Journey. And, like, every Journey song pops up,
I literally, there was a point when I went to the library, the fucking library with books. Imagine that. And actually looked up, like, bands from the past in books in the music section.
Right.
And that's I might as well be a fossil telling that to somebody right
but it
now.
was a lot of the fun was doing that, right? Like, went to, like, the popular chain music, like Musicland or Sam Goody or FYI or whatever, you know what I mean? But then, like, if you couldn't find it there because it was, like, such an obscure old album, you had like the small little mom and pop record shops where you can go get, like, the bootlegs and the imports and like, and they have, like, the old, you don't.
I used to hop around Manhattan, dude. I used to, if One Tower Records didn't have, like, all the albums, like the first 2 albums by a band, I'd get on the train and go to the other location.
And the same thing with movies. If someone said, "Oh, you never saw that movie, you got to see that movie. It's so great. It's from, like, 1984 and blah blah blah, or 1976." And the thing was, you went, you jumped on your bike, and before you had Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, you had the mom and pop video store down the street, and you jumped on your bike and you biked down there, and for $1.99 you can go rent the movie, and you had to go through and like find these movies to go. Like now you just type it in. So yeah, I guess it's like people are like, oh, I get. It's almost like that, like, oh, it'll be there. Type of, like it's there, like
It's very spoiling when you think about it. It's like it was fun hunting down shit like that, having to get up off your ass and fucking literally go there. Now it's like you could just lay down in bed and fucking scroll on your phone.
Yeah, $1.50 took you right to the mall, and you got out of the mall, you went and you hunted down the album. And then the best part was you go in, you find what you were looking for, but then there was like to find the new stuff, you went to that like that little box in the middle of the store right by the entrance to the record store where it was like $5 discount tapes, you know what I mean? And you found some you just looked at the album covers and said, "Oh, this looks cool. This looks cool." Dude. And you buy them for like $5 each or not even. And like, see, next thing you know, and so what? Like if you bought 5 albums for $15 out of the discount bin, and like you liked 2 of them, oh well.
That's my whole point. Like when there's more of a limitation on what you can get, you appreciate it more. Because like what you just said, like if you bought 3 cassette tapes from the bin, I did that. I know what you're talking about, and I'd get 3 albums that I didn't even know how they sounded. But like, let me try out these albums. And then you'd go home and you'd actually listen to the full albums and you would appreciate it more. And that's gone. It's gone.
I know.
Now.
I remember I was having a conversation with someone. I was like, yeah, I listened to that album back, front to back. And they were like, what do you mean front to back? What does that mean? I'm like, we used to actually have to turn our music over to keep listening to the record, or the tape or whatever. It wasn't until CDs came that you didn't have to do that anymore. You might have to switch discs. You know what I mean? Like, but it's so crazy. I feel like we're talking like on a higher technological level of like what my grandfather used to say when he'd be like, Milky Ways used to be a nickel, like.
I'm Pastor John Hagee, Senior Pastor of the Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, Texas. And I want to welcome you to this video seminar entitled Kids and the Occult. What you're about to see in this seminar was presented to the Cornerstone Church with Dr. Paul Carlin, who electrified a crowd of some 5,000 people with Kids and the Occult. Who is Dr. Paul Carlin? Dr. Paul Carlin is a testimony of God's grace. Dr. Paul Carlin was a successful Baptist evangelist who broke the law and served a 6-year prison term. After getting out, he completed his theological training, he built a church, and initiated the Prisoners Bible Institute. The Prisoners Bible Institute is being used through the prisons throughout America to bring prisoners to Christ. He is an advisor to law enforcement agencies on occult-related crimes. He has been permitted to go behind the yellow ribbon and to take very, very graphic videos that you're going to see in this seminar about occult-related crimes. Now, why do we do this? We do this to inform you what you believe about Satanists. It makes no difference what you believe about their agenda. What's important for you to know is that they believe it, and they have a very specific agenda that is to seduce your children into Satanism. You're going to see satanic symbols, satanic personalities, how you as a parent can recognize it and recognize it in the behavior of your children. Why do we do this? We do this to exalt the Savior. We do this to expose Satan, and we do this to equip the saints. You must recognize that Jesus is Lord. He has come to rob, to destroy. Parents, I want you to preview this tape. Children, preview it. And if you think your children are, then you watch it with them. Because the scene that you're going to see are very graphic. Now, I want any form that will affect your mind, your thinking from this moment forward. Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus, we announce the Lordship of Jesus Christ, and we bind every form of fear. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love and of a sound mind and of self-control. Satan and his power and how he's trying to seduce our children and destroy this nation.
I remember this guy.
That the power of the Lord Jesus Christ bring us peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that when Satan comes in like a flood, the Lord Jesus
I remember him. Yeah, I can't remember if he was from the 80s or the 90s.
Christ.
Was he from the 80s?
Thank you, Bob Rogers, for gifting a Scab membership. I don't know. Yeah, probably the 80s. I'm guessing.
He was part of. He was one of the guys that was part of this. I don't remember if he was part of the first wave Satanic Panic of the 80s or the second smaller of the 90s, when like Wicca and all that stuff kind of came out. There was like a small little uptick in the Satanic Panic movement, but I remember him. I remember his face and his voice. I just can't remember. What was his name?
Against him, and Satan is a defeated foe. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Those of you that are watching, may the Lord bless you and help you to see this information on kids and the occult.
Let me just say this. The Satanic Panic was not an unfounded panic, because Satanism took over in a subtle way.
Yeah, he was from the 90s. That's right. He was part of the 90s Satanic Panic movement.
In the occult.
Yeah, this was from 94. I remember this.
And I walked into their bedroom wearing just a pair of black underwear after doing a ritual that night. And I shot them both in the head as they slept. And I remember feeling like someone had just picked this big rock up off my shoulders, like all the burdens of the world had been gone from me, like relief, And I laughed. I giggled hysterically. I had sold my soul to the devil. And so I felt, and I was told, once you do that, that's it. I don't care if you want out or not. You can't get out.
The young man you just saw and heard, John Sellers, a friend of mine. His grandfather's a friend of mine. He's on death row in McAllister, Oklahoma. I'll tell you a little bit more about him in just a few moments. He stood at the foot of his mother and stepfather's bed after he had performed a satanic ritual and murdered them. He laughed, he giggled. I'll tell you more about him in a few minutes. But what we're going to be doing on this particular video for you is attempting to stall or an overview of the occult, not just Satanism. For there are many people who erroneously believe that the only occult group in the world is Satanism, and true Satanism is an occult. We're not going to be discussing cults, but rather occults. We will be covering in this session together what we call 4 disciplines that relate to the occult. We're going to be discussing history, occult history. We're going to be discussing criminal justice. We will be discussing behavioral science. Then we will bring into it the belief system.
They took it really seriously, though, didn't they? A bit too much, really.
Yeah, I mean that like where the panic part of it comes from is like what Toy Fanboy in the chat is saying, like yeah, so as kids we had to hide music from our parents because it might have had like some a weird cover or something on it, like the whole idea of
we had a similar thing.
Yeah, listening to a record backwards.
Well, don't get me wrong,
There
guys.
was a
I
woman
love.
called sorry.
Go ahead.
There
Go
was
ahead,
a
Johnny.
woman called Mary Whitehouse, and she was like an activist, and she used to try. She got the Sex Pistols banned from playing in certain cities. She was like an activist who said that rock and punk music was like satanic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had that. You know,
She was sort of like protest. Yeah.
one of ours was a politician.
Well, I still believe in free speech. Obviously, I still think that free speech is probably the most important thing in the U.S. that we have, and so I'm not trying to say that we should ban anything, but I will say from my experiences, and you I don't know if you know this, I'm a Christian, and I'm a pretty spiritual guy, even though I'm not a prude by any means. Like I'm not some kind of square. I love rock music. I love, I partied pretty heavy in my day. I still do.
Right.
But anyway, I can still recognize that from my experiences, there's some truth to the scare behind some of this stuff. Like um, on Commandos with Patrick and Ben, I brought up Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. There's an interview that he did where he revealed that he used to just make satanic lyrics in the band, and then also he dabbled and just he experimented and he went, let me try a ritual to see if I can get what I want, and he did a satanic ritual, and then it came true for him. Like it worked. He did these rituals, and what he asked for he got, and then eventually at some point he gave it all up, and then he became a Christian, and the band took a turn where they no longer sing the satanic lyrics. But anyway, so his own testimony, he said it himself that like he felt it was real for him, And I also myself I know it to be real. Like
Right, but a
it's not
lot of that music from the 80s though wasn't even satanic. It was like based or inspired from like fantasy fiction. You know what I mean? Like look at Ronnie James Dio. Other than his like stint with like Black Sabbath, uh, all that stuff, like it was like Conan, sword and sorcery shit. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
and you're
Like,
right. No, you're completely right. And I'm not saying that they were hardcore. I'm not saying they were hardcore satanic stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, if you kind of just take a glance at it, I mean, Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath, by the way. They're one of my favorite fucking bands.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you look at their early albums, and like, Nativity in Black, NIB on the first album, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite songs. But then you sing those lyrics and you sing along to those lyrics. It's like, what are you singing when you think about it? It's like, my name is Lucifer. Please take my hand. I will grant you this until the end of time. I'll be with you. It's like, bro, you're basically doing a chant. Like to sing along to some of these songs, you're doing a fucking chant.
Well, that was the thing, right? It came across that way, but if you actually go in and like read like deeper into the lyrics and then even like listen to like the explanation of what the song's about, it's about living a life of sin and not and like not like at the time not thinking that you were ever going to be good enough to redeem yourself. Like that's basically what NIB is about. It's about like acknowledging that you're living a life of sin and you're scum.
Yeah, the rebel aspect. But here's the thing, Anthony, and you don't have to. I'm not trying to push this on you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you believe, and I truly believe in Christianity, and there's power to prayer and saying these things. So it's almost the equivalent of like, if I were to say blasphemous things about Jesus or about God, and I said them out loud, I wouldn't do that intentionally, because to me that's committing a sin. Whereas if you're doing the opposite and you're going praise, the demon or praise whatever, and then trying to praise that behavior, that's also committing a sin to me. So that's why only in my adult life I've turned my back on some of those songs, like "Running with the Devil" by Van Halen. I also love Van Halen too, but like you gotta admit, their first album and their first song on the album is "Running with the Devil," and to me that's not a coincidence because it's true that these bands, in a sense, had to sell their souls to become that big. I truly
Right,
believe.
but a lot of this stuff is like I said, is also just like a lot of it is just like don't get me wrong, there are bands out there that like I don't think those bands actually literally came out into the public sphere until the 90s.
A lot of them are just posers anyway, ain't they? They don't really like believe in the devil.
Yeah, look at Motley Crue. It was just an image thing, right? You look at the first two albums, and then like, you know.
I got you, but I guess what I'm saying is that even if it is posing, there's power to saying it because if you can
that part I
influence
agree
people,
with. I see what you're saying.
if you can influence kids, especially to teenagers, to start saying this out loud, then it's like a slippery slope where it's like it starts with that, and I'm okay with saying my name is Lucifer, please take my hand. Then next thing you know, it's like okay, I don't believe in anything, and then
Right,
after
but
that,
I think the challenge is figuring out like when they're saying stuff, are they actually praising it, or are they diminishing it but explaining to them like I mean look at Alice in Chains, right? Alice in Chains, Dirt is all about Lane's addiction to heroin.
Yeah.
Him and Jerry's, right? But are they praising it? No, I mean some lyrics
No.
they're some lyrics they're talking about stuff in their past where maybe they were having a good time or like how much like they love it, but like they know like you know like that the love is like a fake, it's like a bad love. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people
they're struggling.
Yeah.
I love Alice in Chains, by the way. I love
one of
that
my
album,
favorite
too.
bands. Yeah.
And I know a lot of their lyrics is about struggling with God. Because there's a song God Am on the self-titled album.
Yeah.
And that's a great song. But it's struggling with your creator, which is a big theme in literature and music. And I get that. And I myself still go through that personally.
Mhm.
And so I can still listen to it and relate to it. And I got you with it. But all I'm trying to say is, look, if you're going to believe and choose to be Christian, it makes a difference if you're saying these things and you're.
No, I understand. Like, listen, no
Yeah.
matter I think what we're talking about, like the satanic panic, it was like like the legitimate like psychosis of fear just because something had like a devil on the cover of the album, right? Like they didn't listen to the album, like they didn't, you know what I mean? Like or even not even like that. It's just like it was just weird, like you know. Hey, listen, man, it was the 80s. People were a little more superstitious and fearing in the 80s.
They took it to the extreme, and that's what makes your argument, not you, but I'm saying the argument gets diminished when you take it to the extreme, and now you're banning all Johnny.
Anything with a little bit of an edge. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Because, like, what's his name? Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Like, that's an example of an innocent band. There's a bunch of innocent metal bands where it's like, okay, this is just nonsense. And I'm not talking about those bands at all. So you're right.
Yeah.
The Satanic Panic, it went over the top. But a couple of the things, though.
I feel like the one in the 90s had more merit and like wasn't as big, because in the 90s is when you had all those overseas black metal bands come out, and those motherfuckers were praising Satan. You know what I mean? Like they were, and it was more blatant. The lyrics were more on the nose.
Yeah, there was actual fucking Satanists.
Like
actual fucking.
You had bands like Black Sabbath and stuff back in the day, and all these other bands in the 70s and 80s that were using the devil as a metaphor for sin and evil and like torment, but like not really praising them. And regardless, like you said, like if you're of a weak mind or something, you actually think that that's what they're doing, and you're like saying these lyrics in like a chanting type of way, there is power to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can take anything and misinterpret it and give it an evil twist, and even though those words weren't originally meant to be that, can become that. You know what I mean? So I understand that argument. But these guys were literally saying it right on the fucking note. They were saying it right to your face. like, you know, like, let's kill babies. You know what I mean? Like, let's, like, you know, like, let's, you know, slaughter a lamb to the God, you know, to your Lord, you know, like,
yeah,
crazy.
metal and rock faded in the late 90s in the US. And I don't know if that has something to do with that whole political movement. Maybe it does.
But that's how
Yeah,
I found black metal. It was because of like, there wasn't a lot of metal here, and you know, except for you know, maybe you had Obituary, which Obituary could, I think, tiptoe on that line of maybe being, you know, maybe say I don't even know if they really are satanic, but they might have been more of an image thing. But like that's how I found, like, you know, through Obituary and Morbid.
What's that band? Bathery from Scandinavia. Yeah, they went balls to the wall satanic in Scandinavia. With these,
Oh
the
yeah,
death
all
metal
those
bands.
guys did. Yeah, all that black metal stuff. Like, and it was they kind of lured you in because you had like that screaming death metal vocalist, but then they had that chick come in, right? There was always the chick who came in singing like that operatic music. It was like, this is actually kind of cool, you know.
Also, the
But
guitar playing was great.
fucking amazing. I mean, you got to give those guys. You got to give those guys credit. Like, whatever they believe, they were fucking phenomenal musicians. You know, like, well, like, I like, you know. So I think there was more merit to the argument during the '90s with those bands than there was in the '80s, and it was like very short lived, that little satanic panic of the '90s. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I mean, the music kick ass. You can't deny it.
Yeah, but once you grow up, it's like there's only certain context that the music works. It's like I can only like
the music. I'm amazed by the movements.
What's that?
The way they're moving is very artistic. They look like they shit themselves.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't go to one of these guys' concerts anymore like I could back in my 20s. You know what I mean? Like,
But also, like, under what circumstances are you gonna actually listen to this level of death metal? You know, because like I can't even jam out in my car to this anymore. You know, it's just like it's too much.
right,
Maybe
you're not driving around with like four of your buddies headbanging like you're in fucking Wayne's World. You know what I mean? Those
it
days
feels like
are
I'm about to
over.
murder somebody. Maybe working out. I think working out is the only context.
Yeah, because you get pumped. Or if you decide you know one day you're just gonna snap and go, you know, go postal on your job, maybe you play this on the way. You know, that's about it. But like, I mean, because like you got to think in the mid '90s, that's when all this stuff started coming overseas, and then you also had like the the rise of like the neo-pagan religions like Wicca, and you had TV shows like Buffy and Charmed that like played into that. Harry Potter, you know, there was like there was this like uptake of like the occult in the '90s where there was like that satanic panic too. But like I said, like as far as like TV shows and movies go, I think you know there was no merit there. But some of these bands, man, like it was like legit, like whether they meant it or not, they were literally saying worship Satan. Like they were saying it, whether they meant it or not, you know.
Or they took it to the point. There's some bands, dude, like Cattle Decapitation. Have you seen Cattle Decapitation?
No.
Yeah, that's an actual band name. There's a band called Cattle Decapitation, and like their music videos got banned because they were straight up like horrific gore, like to the point where it's like you couldn't even watch it. Like some of their videos was just straight up gore, people getting bloodied up and like, you know, sliced up. And I'm like, I watched it recently. And I'm like, under what circumstances would you enjoy this? Like, and like, not that they're bad musicians, but I'm watching the video and it's like a guy literally getting drilled out. Like, you know what I mean? With like,
Yeah.
blood splattering. I'm like,
in
the
the
fuck is
90s
going on?
In the 90s, bootleg music videos were a thing. Like people would take other artists' music. I remember in art school, like this is like 94, 95. Somebody took a 9 Inch Nails. I don't remember exactly what 9 Inch Nails songs, but they had like 3 9 Inch Nails songs, and they made their own video to it. And in the video, it was a dude. I think one of the songs was what's the one? I wanna fuck you like an animal.
Yeah,
right?
Closer. Yeah.
Closer was in it because in it like a dude has another dude prisoner in like a basement or a cellar or something, and he brings him out, straps him to a table, starts like basically just cutting body parts off of him.
Yeah,
And
smut. It's pretty much a smut film at that point.
Yeah, and then cuts like his yoo-hoo off and starts banging the hole. Now it's all
Yeah.
fake, you know. It's presented as if it's real, but it's fake. But like it was like, oh my god, and like fucking, I remember what's his face from 9 Inch Nails got pissed when, you know, because it was just like a bootleg thing that like, you know, you couldn't buy it on the market. It was something that you got at like concerts and shit. You would buy like a bootleg VHS tape.
Well, that's my point, because like when it gets to that point of like snuff films, I don't see the purpose to it other than just being like
Shock value.
Look at him.
I don't know. I think there's a fine line. I think there's a fine line
brilliant.
between, in all honesty, if somebody's like really into that kind of stuff, they love seeing gore all the time. It makes me question. I'm like,
Yeah,
Why-
I can't just watch gore for the sake of gore. Like body,
Yeah.
like I'm a horror fan, and the body horror subgenre was never like my biggest subgenre. Like the Hostels and the Saws, I watch the Saw movies more for the mystery story part to it. Like, how are all these killers connected to this one dude who died of cancer? You know what I mean? Like, that
well,
I
those
actually
movies,
did-
those movies are tame in comparison to the shit that's out there. You know, like,
Oh, yeah,
those
yeah,
movies
yeah.
are legit like drama films. I'm talking
Yeah.
about stuff where it's just like you're watching
I'm more of a-
nonstop.
I like slasher.
Yeah, but like I remember a friend of mine had me, like, we were sitting around and he goes, "You gotta check out this site, man. It's got videos of people really being like killed and stuff."
Well, that's
And he
what I
puts-
mean. I feel like if somebody's that into it, it raises a couple of red flags. It's like,
Well, I
hold
said to him,
on.
I said, dude, and this is back in my partying days. I go, "How many lines did you do today, bro? Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, because like I was like, I just remember seeing the one video. He played the one video, and there's a couple of like young kids. I think it was over in like Eastern Europe somewhere, and like they beat the shit out of some older guy. When I say older, like where I'm pushing the age that this guy was. Like he was like in his 50s, and these guys were in their 20s. And then they just like, he's like beat to a pulp, and then they just start sticking him with this metal, like thin metal rod, and like I don't know
Yeah.
if this shit was fake or real, but I just remember like I was like, I can't unsee this, dude.
It looks
Like,
real enough, yeah. If
Yeah.
it looks real enough, then you're pretty much seeing it, and that's what I mean. It gets to a point where it's like, why am I watching this? Like, where's where's the entertainment value in me
Yeah.
seeing somebody get nonstop gored out? Like, it's one thing to see a horror movie. I mean, I like horror movies too,
Yeah,
but
you know it's fake.
It has to be spread out though. It has to be part of the movie, not just me watching somebody get sliced the
Well,
fuck
like,
up.
Like even I remember like in the early 2000s, like after 9/11, with all the videos that they would send over from the
Iraq?
ISIS, yeah, like the ISIS videos where they were like with the decapitations and stuff.
I saw that fucking video, by the way.
Yeah, if I only needed to see one, man. I was like, I don't need to be watching this, man. That's somebody's son that just got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that was a big era because that's when people were downloading shit just to see like the most violent thing out there.
But I think for me, when I initially said, like, when like my friend was like, "Yeah, you got to see this video, man. This is fucked up what you're doing to our people." It was more of an anger thing. Like, I didn't even think about it like in the context of like I'm about to watch somebody get killed. Like, I was more thinking of it like in this like I don't know how to explain it, but but once you hit play and you see them like go, I walked out of the room the minute the machete hit the neck. I walked out.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was fucked, dude. And it
Yeah.
also it hits you different because you know that as you're looking at it, you know that it's a real video.
Yeah,
And
even
that
talking about
knowledge-
it now, I'm getting queasy right now.
Yeah, I feel the
upset.
chills. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I feel the chills too because like as you're seeing it and you know that it's a real video, it makes all the difference versus seeing like a horror movie where
Mhm.
you know that you're watching a horror movie, so therefore you're not gonna get that reaction in your body.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, and then but there's some people out there that like they live for it, man. It's insane.
I don't know, man. It's just it's not a good thing in my opinion. Like
No, it's not healthy.
Yeah, you start to go down the path where you even start to crave it, and it's like a bloodlust. It's not good.
Like I remember, I don't know how old you are, Carbon, but like I know Johnny's probably around the same age as me, right? You're in your 40s, right, Johnny? He's too busy
Yeah,
looking something up. Yeah. You guys remember the Faces of Death movies?
Oh yeah, of course.
Turns out a lot of them were fake, but like back then we didn't know that. you
Some
know?
I think some of them were real though. Actually,
Yeah.
there were some clips that were real.
You know, but like, you know, it's one thing I think to see also like an accident happen than to see an actual murder happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like some of those things where like people like, oh my god, that guy just fucking ran over that dude, like because he just stepped out on the curb, and you know what I mean, like there was some of those that were like obviously clear accidents. It wasn't like intentional, and you're like, holy shit, right? Like that's fucking crazy, and it still bothers you a little bit. But like to know that like somebody was sadistically killing somebody else, that's a whole other level of fucked up. That like when you see it, it's like,
Oh, totally, dude. Yeah, I mean, seeing somebody get like in an accident is not even close to someone getting fucking slashed.
yeah, because I mean,
And now
when
Twitter
you're watching
and-
that, you're not only seeing the, you're not only seeing the person, the end of somebody's life, but you're also witnessing the darkest point in somebody else's life. Like you're seeing the
Actually,
evil.
yeah, that's the horror. Being empathetic to the person dying. That's where the actual horror comes in because you imagine them the way they feel in their last seconds of life. You know.
Yeah.
Here we go. Street fight compilation.
I can watch a fight all day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can watch two guys brawl it out all day.
As we were talking, Anthony, I was thinking about a clip on Twitter within the last year of a guy getting slashed, and he got hit in the neck, and then he got hit right in the right spot on the neck, where it was just literally like a hose of
You
blood.
talking the hockey player?
Oh, that was bad too. Yeah, no. This was like in Europe. And there was like a street fight, and the guy pulled out a knife, and he just took a swing at the guy's neck, and then the guy's neck literally started shooting blood out.
Oh no!
And then within seconds, like the guy, he just stood there, and the blood's shooting out, and then like in seconds, he fell to the ground. He just passed out. And I'm like, dude, that's the worst thing that could fucking happen.
Yeah, no. I do love fight videos though, especially when like the person getting beat up deserves it.
What's up now? Don't be so loud, bro.
Like I love when you see the fight videos where like somebody tries to rob somebody, but then they get their ass kicked.
Hey, you good? Oh.
Speaking of like robbing someone, the one video I just recently saw, I don't know how old it is, but I just recently saw it. I thought was funny was dude I think it was like in it was either in South America or Asia. I couldn't really tell. But dude pulls up on a motorcycle and goes to rob this woman of her purse. So she puts the purse down on the sidewalk. He walks over to go get the purse, and she goes over to steal his motorcycle. So he goes back to the motorcycle, so she goes back to her purse. And they did this like cat and mouse thing for the purse and the motorcycle until he got real confused and just got on his bike and drove away. I was like, that was smart thinking on her part.
I saw that one. There's a ton of Brazil videos with the motorbikes.
They do that a lot in England as well. Moped robbery.
Okay, good.
In England, you get young lads like 14, 15 on nick mopeds. And they'll drive around and they'll just snatch old granny's handbags and all sort of horrible little cunts.
The moped is a big tactic, and they're starting to do that here in the U.S. too, with all the illegal migrants. It's controversial because no one wants to admit it, but they've wised up to the fact that that's the best strategy. They get a little bit of cash right away, and they buy a moped, and they do quick robberies on the mopeds.
Oh! Get him! Get him!
Yeah. Yeah, this is the video I was talking about. When you have a sec, Johnny, can you share my screen?
These fights are a little bit anticlimactic. I'll be honest with you. Lately, I've been watching police body cam videos.
Me too.
Because my favorite is, and I know this sounds one-sided, but I love it when the fucking criminals act up.
Oh yeah.
And then the cop has no choice but to fucking
Like
slam
tase
them
his
down.
ass or slam him. Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it, bro. It's hilarious. And then, oh, you're gonna get tased, and then they act up and they get tased, and it keeps going too. It's just nuts.
I watch a good mix. Mostly those, but I watch a good mix of those, and then like you get the like I watch the ones where like you do get like a dickhead cop that goes too crazy. You know what I mean? Like that goes a little off the wall. I like to watch a balance.
Yeah,
of
but you know,
both.
there's a myth out there that like there's a lot of cops who go too far, but it's actually in the minority. When you watch all the videos,
Oh no, I know,
right?
I know,
It
absolutely.
is. No, but it's funny because once you start watching them, you realize like a lot of these cops don't go wild, and it's in the minority of the ones who get
Usually,
aggressive.
that when the cops are being like dicks, they're not even really being like abusive. They're just being abusive of like their authority. You know what I mean? They're not like being like
Yeah.
physically abusive. But like either I like to watch both because I want to remind myself that you know, I want to remind myself that like there are more good cops than bad cops out there, but I don't want to forget that there are bad cops out there either. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been on the
no, of
receiving
course.
end of some dickhead cops. Not that I didn't deserve some of the shit that I got from some cops in my day, but I have been on the shit end of the stick of some shitty cops. So, but this video was fucking hilarious. This cracked me up when I saw it. So yeah, he pulls up. He's telling her, "I want your purse." So she throws.
Oh yeah, that was smart. That was really smart. Yeah, she played the cat and mouse with him.
He doesn't know what to do. He's like, "Is it worth it?" Nah, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that was smart.
I gotta give that chick credit, man. I gotta give that chick credit.
Did you see that recent video that was controversial with the football player Tyreek Hill from
No.
the Miami team in Florida?
No, what happened?
There was a cop pullover. Maybe I should pull it up actually. The cops pulled him over for speeding.
Mhm, I
He wasn't
think I
like
did see it.
in a fast car. He was like in I think a Maserati. I'm gonna pull it up. And everybody complained about the cops being too aggressive. But honestly, I saw it and I'm like, bro, I saw it. I was like, I'd be that cop. That cop would be me in that situation.
I think I remember seeing it, not knowing who it was, and I was like, "This asshole, what the fuck?" You know what I mean? And then I found out it was like some football guy. You know?
No, but you know, at the same time, the football guy didn't really do anything wrong. But you got to realize, yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Actually, even if you're not committing a crime, you got to realize when you're being difficult with the cops. Because if you're being a wise ass and you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're being smart and you're like, oh, I don't need to do this. And you're delaying and you're not giving your ID and shit. And that's when problems happen. You know, you're playing dumb. It's like, oh, you roll your window up. And it's like, oh, well, you need my registration. Hold on, and you're being a dick. That's when I'm like, all right, you're asking for trouble now. I got it right here. I'm going to share it. Actually, you know what, Johnny? Let me I'm going to put the link in the private chat because usually when I share it, it doesn't work on my computer because everything's burnt out on my fucking computer. Some giant link I just shared.
Body count, yeah, I got it. Hang on.
Yeah, so it starts out with this is the cop's body cam on the motorcycle. And then it goes to the cops. 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 And then it go and he sees the car drive by on the highway, speeding, and now they're about to pull over the car.
You're speeding. Go forward. Yeah, we got it here. 261. Why do you have your seatbelt on? Why do you have your seatbelt on? What? Why do you have it up? Why you have it up? I have it up to let you know I'm here. Now we can go over there and talk to you. Get my ticket, bro, so I can go. What you keep it down. Hey.
This is rough. We can't really see what's going on.
It's choppy.
Keep your window down. Keep
We'll
your
see.
window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me get out of the car. Give me up. Break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now.
You want me to
We're not
play?
playing this game. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Yeah, you might as well, because we're not seeing what's happening right now.
We'll put a blood with you on this picture, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin.
Yeah, we're not really
When we
seeing
tell
what's
you to do
happening.
something, you do it. You understand? You
I'm
understand
sharing
how
it.
you want, but when we tell you, you're a little fucking confused. I'm getting out.
By the way, in case there's any question, the cop who's yelling at him, that would be me. That would be me in this situation.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. I thought it was just choppy on my end.
There you go. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Is there audio?
No, it's about to turn on. Yeah, the audio is about to turn on. Yeah, they start debating about the window being up. And he goes, roll your window down. And the guy doesn't want to roll the window down.
How's there speeding? Move forward.
There it is.
Yeah, we got it here. 261.
Might have to end the show soon, man.
Why do you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why you have it up? Why you have it up? I have it up to let you know I'm here. Now we can go over there and talk to you. Get my ticket, bro, so I can go. What you gotta do? Keep it down. Hey. Keep your window down. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me that. Get out of the car. Give me that. We'll break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 We'll put a blood with you on this thing. Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
He went, God damn.
What you want, but when we tell you, you're a little fucking confused. I'm getting out, bro. Too late. Too late. All right, bro. Take me to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro. We are. We will. Good, bro. It is good. Hey, Drew, hey. Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. You stop crying. Bro. Y'all. Don't move. Good. bro. You beating on my window like you crazy.
Just set him up.
Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro, dude was beating on my window like he crazy. I ain't do nothing, twin. Damn. Hold on, pull to the side.
Hey, don't park there.
I'm gonna have a seat.
Don't park there.
Hey.
Have a seat.
I'm fancy.
No, you're doing it now. Go. Have a seat.
Hold on, twin. Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just tell you in your ears when we go there with your window down. Chill, bro. Hey, don't do, bro.
That guy is a li- I
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, lads, but I'm gonna have to end the show now. It's got to that
okay.
time.
No worries,
Thank you
no
for
worries.
coming on, Dark Gift,
No worries. Thanks for having me.
and you're welcome back on another one.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
usually off
I'm
Sunday
dead.
nights,
It's
so
only
it's
'cause I've
usually.
got a certain amount of Yeah, you come on anytime, mate. It's always good chatting to you. I like hearing about you and what's going on in your life. It's interesting. Thank you, Carbon, and thank you everyone in the chat. And I'll catch you next Sunday. Have a great time. Adios.
Later.
Let's try and get
Later,
this
guys.
going. Should I wait for my slow computer now? Takes fucking ages. Come on.
Hey, I just wanna say, I'm back. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. Now I've made some change in my life. Now I've moved on in life. Now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. I'm thinking deeply right now. My life without you, it's like wow, but I don't know how to explain this. I don't know why it's happening to me, but I just realize you're not the person you used to be. Now I've left this city. This bullshit is not gonna happen again. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. Life is short. Don't waste time worrying about me, holding the one that cares for you. In the end, they won't be there for you. Now I've made it of the world. Our memories will be swallowed in the winter snow. This is a sign of goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye Goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hate on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.